Their last meeting was last season at Morgan. They were in the same region. Morgan won that one 49-20, spanked Juan Diego. So Coach Christensen on a good streak against the Soaring Eagle, while Coach Calissimo trying to turn some things around for Juan Diego in terms of this particular matchup. But Morgan doesn't want to remember what happened 2 years ago on this same weekend, where they were unable to win the state championship. And Juan Diego now looking for a three-peat as they won last year and the year before.
Yeah, perhaps on the paper, Juan Diego may look a little bit better, but I'm just excited just to see what will happen tonight. Coach Covey Christiansen, he said earlier this week, he feels his team is peaking right at the right time. And by the way they've been playing in the playoffs, I'd have to agree. Juan Diego, they're still a great team, but they barely squeaked by these last two playoff games. They consider themselves fairly lucky to be here, determining what happened.
Coach Calissimo, what he said he should take that luck to Vegas, right? Earlier this week.
Go test it out on the gambling down there.
And so definitely an important matchup for these two teams. Morgan, as you mentioned, I don't want to say they've had an easier route, but they've had an easier time. They've played a little bit better. They played a little bit cleaner, have separated themselves a little bit more through their teams. As you can see, the captains head to midfield for the coin toss. While, as you mentioned, Juan Diego, it's come down to 2-point conversion stops to win their last two games to get to the state championship. And Juan Diego was actually the 3 seed in their region. That's a very interesting thing. They tied. There was a 3-way tie for first between them, Summit Academy, and Juab. And the way the coin tosses worked out, you could say Juan Diego kind of got the wrong end of that stick. They didn't pull the right straw out, per se, and ultimately ended up as the 3 seed, and yet they've proved everyone wrong, and here they are.
Yeah, very strategic of Juab. Choosing to be the 3 seed, and kind of trying to pick the easiest route in as they could, but they couldn't squeak by these teams that we have here tonight.
Yeah, Morgan ended up beating Juab last week, as mentioned, and Juan Diego to get to the state championship. They ultimately had a double overtime contest with Summit Academy, who's very good in their own right. A little surprised not to see the Bears here tonight, this afternoon, but again, Juan Diego has earned that with their defensive stops on 2-point conversions. Let's go ahead and break down these teams statistically. Morgan has the 4th best scoring offense in 3A at 29.5 points a game. Scoring defense 22.5, which is 6th in 3A. Jacob Steffens, as you mentioned, 2,338 yards. He's thrown for 25 touchdowns. 25 touchdown passes. That's more than probably any college in the state of Utah this year, where quarterback play has been a bit of a question. Rushing leaders, Bridger Miller is still a solid guy, 785 yards on the season, 7 touchdowns. You can't forget about him. Still a good running back, even though Morgan likes to get it out and throw the football.
And that's what you need for a state championship team like this. To be able to win a championship, or even just to be here, you can't just play one side of the ball. You can't just be an offense where you just pass or just run. You got to be able to execute both ways.
They got a bunch of guys that are good receivers. Tyson Hurd, who had an excellent game last week in the semis, 769 yards and 10 touchdown catches on the year for him. Defensively, Chase Trussell leads them in tackles and sacks, 81 tackles and 5 sacks. Jay Kerrigan, 7 INTs for Morgan. For Juan Diego, 2nd in 3A in scoring at 36 a game. Scoring defense, they only give up 18 a game, which is 3rd in 3A. Zach Hoffman, he's a dual threat guy. He's thrown for 800 yards and 5 touchdowns, but he also has 1,000 yards rushing and 17 rushing touchdowns. And you expect that, though, with the option type play. Your quarterback's going to get a lot of yards and a lot of scores.
Yeah, for sure. That's play on a defense, a team that knows how to execute well, the triple option, that's a scary thing. Every time you think you got the guy, he's just going to go to the other option. It seems like you always choose the wrong thing.
Tristan Tanozzi is also a really good running back for them, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Receiving leaders, Luke Prokpis with 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Max Butovich leads the Juan Diego defense with 88 tackles as we're set to kick off Juan Diego in the white uniforms, white tops, white bottoms. They'll be kicking to Morgan. Morgan in the maroon tops, white bottoms. And here we go. Opening kickoff and a beautiful sky kick that's going to go in for a touchback. One thing again with high school football, you don't get to run it out of the end zone like you do maybe in college and in the NFL. It just is an automatic touchback as that ball sails for the end zone. So from the 20-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Morgan Trojans. And again, they've got a great passing attack. Jacob Stevens, number 11 for the Trojans at quarterback, is a phenomenal kid. Just does a great job being able to get that ball out of his hands. Number 17, Tyson Hurd, is the receiver to watch for Morgan on the offensive side. Shotgun is Steffens. Takes a snap. Handoff to the outside. Trying to cut back upfield is the tailback, and not a ton of room as he's smothered by the Soaring Eagle. That's number 25, Bridger Miller, their leading rusher, gets the opening carry. Gain of 2, so that'll bring up about a 2nd down and 8. Good job from Juan Diego being the contain right there.
Right there, Juan Diego. Miller, he had nowhere to run. Just a swarm of War Eagles all around him. Had no space to go.
And one guy you're going to have to keep your eye on for Juan Diego is Chinoso Opara. He doesn't have a ton of great stats, but he is a Division I college football commit, and we'll tell you more about his story later. Stevens throws a fade route to the outside, and not a lot of room to operate. A lot of holding on that play. No flags are thrown, as I believe Hurd was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 8 to go. As we see here on our Centricom replay.
Yeah, 20 may have gotten away with a slight PI. That call could have gone either way. That's a close call.
And I believe that's Jaden Madry for the Soaring Eagle in coverage. Big 3rd down here for the Morgan Trojans, and Stevens. Jacob Stevens in shotgun. Designed rollout to his left. He's got a man coming, and he's sacked, and the ball comes loose. Juan Diego recovers it down inside the 15-yard line. Got taken out by the blind side.
That guy just came storming off on the left side as the quarterback started rolling to his left. Right behind him, here comes in big number 52.
Samuel Knutson comes up, forces the fumble, and number 75, Quinn Brown, is the one that makes the fumble recovery. And Juan Diego now great field position. That's something we're going to have to pay attention to as well as this game goes on, is field position.
Man, that's a way to start a state championship football game.
Especially
Juan Diego.
Yeah, on the defensive side. Morgan going to have to regroup. Hoffman under center. Sends a man in motion. Hoffman on a handoff up the middle, and it's good for a gain of about 9 yards on that play. Looks like number 38, Michael Gately, with the carry. Or is that 28?
28.
That's Alfonso Preciado.
Good blocking up front. Line did their job. Big hole. Easy play.
And quarterback Keat trying to stretch for the pylon. Signal from the official, and it's a touchdown for the Soaring Eagle. So just like that, 2 plays later after the fumble from Morgan, Juan Diego opens out on top. Although Morgan looks confused. It looks like they didn't get confirmation from another side judge, but they're going to say touchdown. And Saunders will be on to kick the PAT for Juan Diego. He's done a solid job for them kicking all season. Snap is back, a bit of a high snap, but the PAT is through for 1. So with 10:58 to go here in our opening quarter of the 3A state championship, it's Juan Diego 7 and Morgan 0. We will be back in 30 seconds.
You remember your family, right? Those cute little zombies that are always stuck to their screens? Well, with router limits, you can manage screen time, filter web content, and track the browsing history of all your kids. All you have to do is plug this little guy into your router. Seriously, that's it. Router limit starts with screen time. You can set a schedule for each family member, what they can do online, and when they can do it. You can filter content by category or even by specific website. Sure, you've got great kids, but sooner or later, they're going to come in contact with something that's not so great. Router Limits lets you see what they see so that you can have those important conversations before the internet has them for you. Router Limits helps my family disconnect from devices and reconnect with each other.
Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Welcome back here to the 3A state championship between Juan Diego and Morgan. That kickoff from the Soaring Eagle once again goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Dane, Morgan definitely is going to need to figure out something.
Being there to see the sunset.
Stevens in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Throws to the outside, it's complete to number 21, who gets wrapped up for a big tackle. Only a gain of about 2 yards. Talon Polad with the catch, gain of 2. Will bring up 2nd down and 8. Good little out route, but it was well defended by the Soaring Eagle. And that, once again, on the play, number 20, Jaden Madry. Great open field tackle.
Yeah.
Second down and 8 now. Jacob Stevens in the shotgun. Miller to his left hip. 2 receivers out, man in motion now. And it's an option play, pitch to the outside. Continuing running his feet is number 2, and he does a good job keeping the legs going. Ends up getting 5 yards. It looked like he was going to get no gain. That's Jake Runkles with the rush, getting up to the about the 27-yard line. So that'll be 3rd and 3 now, instead of what looked like it was going to be about a 3rd and 8.
That's what you want from your running back. He first got met by the first defender right at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to get a good gain out of it. Got about 5, long 5, short 6 yards.
That's why coaches tell the running backs, keep those legs moving. You don't give up on a play until the whistle's blown. Stevens in the shotgun. It's 3rd down and 3 for Morgan. Last 3rd down, it was a turnover and a great catch by Tyson Hurd for a 1st down. On the money throw from Jacob Stevens. Hurd in good position, gets his hands up, and it also keeps the legs churning, and he'll keep the 1st down chains churning for a 1st down for the Morgan Trojans. It's their first 1st down of the ball game.
Hurd, if I was Juan Diego, I would want to keep a really close eye on that guy. He's had 2 breakout plays the last 2 playoff games. 64-yard touchdown against Ridgefield. Over 50-yard against Juap last game. Another great catch.
Speedster.
Yeah.
And he's got the physical tools as well. He was covered really tight, but was able to get separation. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left with a tight end. Empty backfield, Stevens throws it over the top. He's got a man, he's open. 30, 25, tackled at the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Morgan Trojans. Talon Polad, who had a reception earlier, gets it down to the, let's see, they're gonna mark him right at the 20, it looks like. There will be 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Just a nice fade over the top pass from Stevens. And the Trojans move the football, are now in the red zone. Great play. And it looked like it was a bit of a decoyed throw to the outside, and then a great route there by Talon Polad. Shotgun is Stevens. Handoff to the outside to Miller. Miller tries to get some room to the outside, and that Juan Diego front 7 is so big and so tough. Miller's going to get about a yard on the play. And inside once again, Samuel Knutson trying to get in and make the play.
It's so hard to get a play where you can really beat Juan Diego running to the outside. Their defensive front, they're so fast. Every time they run it out, there's already 3 or 4 guys already waiting for them.
And one of those guys, Chinoso Opara, who we will continue to talk about throughout this broadcast. An incredible story from this young man from Nigeria, who is going to be playing at BYU. Pump fake, throw to the inside, an excellent thrown ball.
And guess
from
who?
Stevens and Hurd. Tyson Hurd comes up with the reception. That was just a perfectly placed ball for the receiver. And another 1st down for the Trojans. They've now got 1st and goal at the 9.
Good coverage. The guy was right on him. Hurd just was a little bit better that play.
And a good throw by Stevens, put it right on the numbers, only where his receiver could go get it. And the Trojans set up 1st and goal, and a great response after giving up that fumble and then an early touchdown. Stevens has showed great composure on this drive. Shotgun Stevens, pitch to the outside, and I think it was a fake pitch after he handed it off to another tailback, and he's actually going to lose a yard back to the 10-yard line. On the replay here, it looks like it was Bronson Newman in there for the play. Excuse me, Bronson Neuschwander. And it was a little bit of a misdirection pitch. They tried to fake it out to Miller, and a loss of a yard for Neuschwander, the fullback. Stevens in shotgun, 2nd and goal from the 10. Roll out to his right, heavy pressure coming, throws for the end zone. Man is there. Oh, what a touchdown catch for the Morgan Trojans. Jake Runkles hauls it in for 6. PAT pending, will be tied at 7.
Now that was an impressive pass. Pass and catch. Quarterback Steffens, when he rolls out to his right, he throws the ball, and his receiver, he turns around right at the right moment. He turned around after the ball was thrown midway. He caught it right there.
Great catch and play. I am so impressed by the chemistry between Stevens and his receivers. PAT is through for 1 point, and we are tied at 7 apiece with 7:08 to go here in this opening quarter. It's Morgan 7, Juan Diego 7 here in the 3A state championship. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Being there to see the sunset, only to see it rise. Your friends, your family, and being around those who matter most. Visiting new places and trying new things. The road trips or the camping trips. The times you'll remember and the places you'll go back to. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. L&L Motor. People you know. People who care.
Welcome back here to beautiful Stewart Stadium on the campus of Weber State University in Ogden, Utah, where the Morgan Trojans just drove 80 yards down the field to answer Juan Diego with a touchdown of their own. And Dane, we're all tied up at 7.
5 minutes in the game, both teams have already scored.
Morgan fumbling on their first possession. Juan Diego had really good field position as the Trojans set to kick off here. An interesting kickoff formation. They kind of line up 2 guys in the same spot. Really good high kick, and that'll also go for a touchback for Juan Diego. They'll have the ball out at the 20-yard line. Both of these kickers, Dane, have been really, really good. You don't see that in high school football too much.
I'll say, when I remember playing, rarely we would get a 3A kicker that can kick it and make a touchback. And here it's been happening consistently.
Now, when you played, you had a pretty darn good kicker in Carlo Garcia. He put it in the end zone every single time, and not just that, but was able to make some pretty long-distance field goals as well. And maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that kicking game as this game goes on. It's 1st and 10 for the Soaring Eagle. Hoffman under center. It's a handoff to the outside. A reverse play and a pass to the quarterback. Hoffman's wide open. 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10 down at the 4-yard line. A backwards reverse pass to unbelievable play to Hoffman. Wow, Dane, I'm speechless. I did not see that coming. Zach Hoffman with the reception. Dallin Davis on the reverse ends up making a double reverse pass. A bit of a duck, but hey, Hoffman was wide open. No one even bothered covering him. And now the Soaring Eagle right down at the 4-yard line. This is what you want in a championship game, am I
This
right?
is what the people came out for. Gutsy call, executed perfectly.
Hoffman on a quarterback sneak now at the 4. He's going to get maybe halfway there. Down him at the 2. Unbelievable. I mean, we've already seen 2 passing plays in this game go for more than 40 yards. And huge, huge opportunity here for the Soaring Eagle just to jump right back on top. This tie looks like it may not last very long. Zach Hoffman under center. 2 backs, 1 receiver out to his left. That receiver is Luke Prokopis. And up through the middle. Let's see, I think they stopped him maybe a yard shy. Let's see, we haven't gotten a call from the official yet. Touchdown, Soaring Eagle. Hoffman with another quarterback keep, I believe. And it was Hoffman, as we can confirm from our PA guy. So Juan Diego will now kick the PAT, 6:12 remaining to make it a 14-7 game. As we look here on our replay, and yeah, Hoffman keeping it, clearly breaking the plane. PAT pending for the Soaring Eagle. Kicks on its way, and it is through. So we're going to keep it here. I don't think we're going to take another break that quickly after a score, 14-7. Juan Diego has clearly come out, and they've established short yardage, but I think that double reverse pass play really took everyone by surprise there, Dane.
Even not even being part of any of the teams here, coming out, that was a surprising play. Great call by the coach there.
That kind of took Morgan by surprise, and Hoffman, you see his speed as a quarterback on that double reverse as we see it right here, and has his man beat, and he is off to the races. The only other play I've seen that kind of reminds me of that you see all the time is the Steve Young touchdown catch when he was playing at BYU. Off a halfback pass, they threw it back to Young, and he was able to take that in nearly to the end zone, up to the 4-yard line. Here we go, 6:12 to go. Juan Diego set to kick off, as we've expected from all these other kickoffs. This expected also to be a touchback and a good high solid boot, and this is actually going to be fielded at the 1-yard line. Fake the reverse, and out to the outside goes Morgan's number 2, who caught that touchdown earlier, and that for the Trojans is Jake Runkles. Good hands and good speed.
By the way the game's going so far, halfway through the first half, 21 points have already been scored. We can expect ourselves a high-scoring ball game by the end of it.
No doubt. Big plays, turnovers, the whole 9 yards, as they say it. First and 10 from the 27-yard line for the Morgan Trojans. Steven comes out after leading them on an 80-yard drive their last time down. First and 10, he's got Miller in the backfield with them. Continue to watch Tyson Hurd, that wide receiver. Stevens in the shotgun. Play action, throw to the outside, and nearly intercepted and then dropped on the outside, trying to make a play for it. I believe number 28, Bronson Neuschwander, plays a bit of fullback as well. And just not quite able to haul that in. As you see on this replay, just right there in coverage was number 32, Austin Gillespie, who's one of their better defenders.
Yeah.
Nearly comes up with that interception. Second down and 10 for the Morgan Trojans. Stevens in the shotgun. Play action. Gonna float it down. He's got a man open. It's Neuschwander. Neuschwander at the 40. The ball comes loose, and Juan Diego scoops it up at the 31-yard line, and Neuschwander is down holding his knee. Oh, no. That is never something that you want to see. Just when you think Morgan's about to have a gigantic play, they give the ball up, and not only that, but one of their top offensive players is hurt. Neuschwander.
So looking at the replay here, Steffens had plenty of time, does a perfect pass right in the arms, and Neuschwander coming from behind. That looks like it hurt.
That, at the very least, was a hyperextension.
Yeah, it looked like a hyperextension of his right knee.
And I think great respect from Juan Diego here. They've got their guys kneeling at midfield, now coming back to the huddle. And you hope in a state championship game like this, a guy like Neuschwander is going to be okay to go. As you see Stevens over there talking to him on the ground. Man, tough break for the Morgan Trojans. And is it just me, Dane, or does it seem like this season in football all around, there have just been so many injuries? You look at the NFL, you look at college football. I mean, BYU alone has had, I think, 39 to 40 guys injured. As Neuschwander, and that's good. He's able to put a little bit of weight on that leg, having to be helped just by one coach. But the Soaring Eagle, now if you're Morgan, that's tough. You lose a guy, now you got to come back on defense and make a play.
Yeah, best wishes to him.
Neuschwander, good fullback, a good slot receiver. Had a great catch and run there, just unable to hold on to that football. And I don't blame him when you hyperextend a knee like that. Hoffman under center, man out in motion. Option read, hand up just right up the middle. Gonna get about 2 yards, and a good job by the Morgan defense inside to stuff. Inside there for Morgan was number 6, Chase Trussell, at that linebacker spot, coming up to make the play. And also on the play for the Morgan Trojans, Gabe Bott, another Mike linebacker. Hoffman under center, option read. Hoffman decides to keep it himself, so athletic to the outside. Now he pitches it out. First down and a couple extra yards to the outside for the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. I believe that was Austin Gillespie, or excuse me, 22, Tristan Tonosi, who is their leading rusher. He has Hoffman beat by 30 yards. I think Tonosi heading into this game was at like 1,067, and Hoffman's at like 1,030. So super close between the two.
Stats.
Unreal. 2 guys over 1,000 yards. It's like a Taysom Hill-Jamal Williams combo. Hoffman under center. Option read, keeps it himself, goes forward and leans forward and gets about 5 more yards on the play.
That was well played by Morgan. Morgan's D-line right there. They were able to squeeze the gap, not giving Hoffman too much room. He was still able to make a good play on it. Number 20 there, he met him right at the line of scrimmage. Got a gain about 4 there.
Porter Giles in on the tackles. Second down and 5 for the Soaring Eagle. It's Hoffman under center. And that's going to be a false start on the Soaring Eagle, number 51. Looks like that's Connor Watkins that jumped. Or excuse me, Monroe May. Connor Watkins is the Trojan. Monroe May. So now a 2nd and 11 instead of a 2nd and 6. As you see on the replay here, just got a little happy. You can understand that as an offensive lineman. Hoffman, Quarterback keep, pitch to the outside, has a man open. Oh, and it's a fumble. Ball comes loose, and a flag flies as well in the play. Juan Diego able to land on it. That's number 40, Hunter Easterly, the fullback.
I may be wrong, but did that look forward to you?
And that may be what the flag is.
That's what I believe it was. It looked like he pitched it forward.
An illegal forward pass. We'll see what the call from the official here is.
I believe, we'll see what the call is. It seemed like Hoffman thought that he was still behind the line of scrimmage, which he wasn't. And when he passed it forward.
Yeah, this isn't PE ball. Next time you see Jamin Miller, you'll have to ask him about how many times he crossed the line of scrimmage during PE flag football. And that looks like that appears to be the penalty on Juan. Let's see here on the replay. Hoffman clearly across the line. I think the ball fades forward eventually. So yeah, they do call an illegal forward pass. So that sends them back quite a ways.
Hoffman tried to throw it backwards, but his motion that he had with him as he was running, the ball just started to go forward and barely went over.
And I believe it's 5 yards from the spot of the foul. So now it's 3rd down and 13 for Juan Diego. Man in motion to the outside is Tinoso. Hoffman going to keep it. Pass option play. Oh, Tinoso's wide open, but he keeps his feet and gets the first down. I thought he was going to fall out of bounds there before getting the first down, and Tristan Tinosi picks up the first down.
Tinosi, good job on those nimble feet there. If that was anyone else, if that was me, I would have been out right as I caught it. He's able to.
Look at that footwork. And the official's right there. He clearly doesn't step out of bounds. Unbelievable. Huge 3rd down conversion.
5 more yards after the catch just because of those feet.
I think we've been saying it wrong. I think it's Tanosi or Tanazi.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that as well, though. Tanazi in motion. Hoffman goes with a dive up the middle to the fullback. That's Hunter Easterly once again, and solid rusher in his own. Gets 3 or 4 yards to set up 2nd down and 7. This Juan Diego offensive line gets a good initial push, but you like how Morgan has swarmed in and been able to get in and make big plays. 2nd down and 7 to go. Hoffman under center. This is a huge drive defensively for Morgan. You don't want to get down 2 scores. Hoffman sends a man in motion. It's Tanazi. Another half fullback dive and keeping the legs churning once again, number 40, Hunter Easterly. That's going to set up 2nd down and about 3 to go. Juan Diego being very methodical on this drive, just taking their time.
Yeah, interesting. Very different from the first 2 drives that they've had.
Hoffman, big 3rd down for the Trojan defense. After 2 critical penalties, for them to pick up that first down as Tinoso keeps it, and the ball comes loose. Morgan is signaling they have the football. And they do! It's recovered by the Trojans.
Man, can you ask for more drama in 1 quarter football?
We're through 1 quarter. We've seen 2 turnovers, 2 plays of 40 or more yards. Actually, that's 3 turnovers. We've seen 2 fumbles from Morgan and 1 from Juan Diego.
And 21 points.
Unbelievable. And most of that game, Juan Diego ate a lot of time off that clock over the last little while on that last drive. 14-7 if you're just joining us, 3:06 to go. Juan Diego leading Morgan here in the 3A state championship game from Stewart Stadium on the campus of Weber State. Steffens in the shotgun. Man in motion. Pitch to the outside. It's a backwards play. Stevens, the ball's loose. Stevens is all alone. Picks it up, heaves it downfield. He's got a man, and it's incomplete down the field. Intended for Jake Runkles. Oh, my goodness. That went from nifty play to potential disaster to nearly an incredible play. You see on the replay here, it's a backwards pitch. And then a backwards throw after handing it off to Cass Giles. Unbelievable.
I think after that reverse pass that Juan Diego did, Morgan, they said, hey, let me show you what we got up our sleeves too.
Good coverage from Dallin Davis, who threw the double reverse pass for Juan Diego. He was the coverage man on that play. 2nd down and 10, Stevens in the shotgun. Miller is his tailback. Stevens back to throw. Throws a fade route. Man is there. It's Hurd who dives in and makes the catch. Flag flies at the 49-yard line. Unbelievable. Tyson Hurd, man, talk about
impressive.
This kid could play receiver. Let's see what the penalty is. It may be a defensive hold from the way the two teams are reacting out on the field. Usually you can tell who the penalty is going to be on just by the way teams are moving.
Yes. Deep down, each team probably already knows what the call was. As we move the ball forward on the penalty.
And it was a defensive hold. And penalties decline, so first down.
Impressive. Hurd got the catch even with being held.
This is so impressive. Just using his body to be in the right place. Dives for the football.
Good read on the ball.
Hand off to the outside, it's Miller. Miller, stutter steps, now heads to the outside, has a block, does a good job turning upfield. Miller's still going, and he gets a solid gain of 5 yards after it looked like he was only going to get maybe a yard or even a loss. And a great run there from Bridger Miller.
And that's what you call making something out of nothing. Miller running outside, cuts in, and then cuts right back out.
Oh, a flag on the play. There's a hold.
Yep.
Oh, and that's too bad for Morgan. 10 yards, so that'll send him back to a 2nd down and 20 situation. And I like what you said there, though, about Miller, how he made something out of nothing. In the words of the great Uncle Rico,
let's hear it.
You might as well do something while you're doing nothing, am I right? First down and 20 now after the penalty. 2:38 to go, excuse me, here in this first quarter. Juan Diego leads at 14-7 over Morgan here in the 3A state championship live from Ogden. And it made sense for these two teams to play up here. Morgan just around the corner. And Juan Diego, of course, not too far of a drive from Draper. Miller goes out of the backfield, lines up as a slot receiver. Stevens takes the shotgun snap. Back to throw, throws to the outside. It is complete to Giles, and he's knocked out of bounds. Gets a decent chunk of yards back. And that's what you want to do on a 1st and 20. Make it a little more manageable. You have to go for the home run right away. He gets 8 yards. Make it 7, and it'll be 2nd and 13. I am really impressed with the routes that these Morgan receivers run. They are on such good chemistry and good pace with their quarterback, Jake Stevens.
I haven't seen one bad throw by Steffens yet. Every throw he does is right on the money.
Yeah, Steffens has been impressive regardless. 2nd and 13. Steffens, 3-step drop, a screen play. Oh, and the ball.
Good read.
And that should be an incomplete pass, and it is. A great read by the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle defense, and soaring in to break that play up was Max Butkovich, who is an incredible linebacker, leads the team in tackles and sacks. Just read the play perfectly.
Perfect. The O-line even went up to block him. He knew right was coming, shed the blocker, and was there before he could even get the ball. Nicely done.
So now you're in a 3rd and 13 situation, and I like the play call for Morgan. Screen passes are designed to get you just a good amount of yards to set up, you know, a 2nd down or a 3rd and more manageable per se. And now you face 3rd and 13. Stevens has shown he can throw it up though. Stevens back to pass. Takes a shot over, and it's just high. That's probably the first bad ball Stevens has thrown, intended for Jake Runkles, and it'll be 4th down. Morgan set to punt. That penalty really killed the Trojans after a great pass play to start the drive. Just couldn't really recover from the penalty.
And you can't have penalties like that here in the state championship game. We saw one false start. We saw a holding.
Now, you've played in a plethora of state championship games. Would you say, and a beautiful punt as it goes out of bounds, I think they're going to mark him, about the 16-yard line, 15-yard line. You played in a number of state championship games yourself. I believe, you dressed for 3, correct?
That's correct.
And played in 2
yes.
as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Is that nerves? What's the feeling like going into a state championship game like this?
State championship game, you know right off the bat, it's not like another game. All the hype that kind of goes around, it can get on your nerves, and that does play a big factor on it.
Well, especially if you're a lineman, jumping off sides, false starts.
Yes, and I'm not one to point my fingers. I've been there as myself.
Hoffman under center, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line for the Soaring Eagle. Morgan able to get a big fumble their last time out. Ball to the outside to Tenozo. Good blocking. Oh, and Tenozo just lowers his head. Power run. Ends up getting 5 yards on the carry.
You hate to call out guys like that, but number 30, I hope he's okay. He got nailed there.
And Tenozo, as he just lowers the shoulder. Unbelievable run there. Ethan Wheeler, good job still trying to wrap his legs up, though, after taking such a hard hit.
Yeah.
Tenassi, you can tell why him and Hoffman are such a lethal dual threat as we're approaching a minute 44. Hoffman, a pass play. Deep downfield, he's got a man wide open and just through the hands. Had that ball been a little more accurate, intended for Jesse Trujillo, good chance that goes the distance.
Trujillo running his route, he was expecting it on his inside shoulder as he was going down the field, wide open. He had to turn the shoulder a little far, still as a catchable ball. Just a little bit out of the hands.
Big third down and about, we'll call it a long 4 to go. Approaching the concluding moments here of the opening period. It's been an exciting one. 14-7 for Juan Diego. Up the middle, and they didn't get it. They're a yard shy. Are the Soaring Eagle. Morgan's defense holds stout, and it's 4th down. And it looks like, as if you're Juan Diego, they appear like they want to go for it right here.
It's looking like it. They've got their offense still in there.
Offense staying on the field. And how about this Morgan crowd? There are a lot of people supporting the Trojans today. They are on their feet. See, one strategy here, Dane, and your head coach, Cole Meekum, likes to do this along with Dave Stevens, is try and draw him offside. Handoff. Did he get it? Let's see. It's awfully close.
He's saying move the chains.
They're saying move the chains, so he gets the yard. Risky play for Juan Diego to go for it so deep in your own territory on 4th and 1, but I guess they trusted the offense.
Now it's Juan Diego coaching staff calling some risky plays here, but they're paying off.
And just that little extra lean forward by Hoffman's what got them the first down. 1st and 10, Soaring Eagle. After a huge 4th and 1 conversion, Hoffman under center. Dive right up the middle, and the Trojan defense does a good job stopping right there. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
Number 1, the linebacker for Morgan. Great read right there. Had nowhere to go right after the dive.
Gabe Bott is that linebacker you're speaking of, and he does a good job plugging that middle, kind of like a Butch Pau'u that plays for BYU. That's that Mike linebacker's job, is to plug the middle. Hoffman, option, decides to keep it himself. Now turns upfield. He's got a lot of field.
Dangerous.
Hoffman in the open field, still running 40, 35, 30. Stiff arms his man, stays in bounds, and goes down at the 19-yard line. Oh my goodness, Zach Hoffman.
And that's why he's got over 1,000 yards rushing as a quarterback.
He saw that hole as we look here on the replay, completely changes direction, and just look at all that green grass he's got, or I guess green turf here at Weber State. Unbelievable. 1st and 10 now from the 20-yard line. How many big plays are we going to see in this first quarter? Well, there's 3.8 to play, so there'll be one more play for Juan Diego.
Hoffman right there. The play was originally planned out for him to roll out to the right. But what makes a great runner is he have vision. Even though things were kind of closing up as the play was kind of developing outside, things closed off, he looked right back in, saw an open gap, and was able to make another huge play here in the state championship football game.
And Morgan deciding to call a timeout, talk some things over here. What do you think the purpose is of calling a timeout like this? You only have 3 seconds left before the quarter ends. Is Coach Christiansen just trying to motivate his guys for this final play?
That's a tough one, because you would get a break here in a little bit. I would say to stop the momentum. Juan Diego, after a big play like that, it seems after every big play they've had, they've been able to answer it with another big one right after here in this championship game.
Hoffman under center, ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Zach Hoffman has been phenomenal in the early parts of this game. 3A championship on the line, moves his man up to the receiver, or his receiver up to the line. Hoffman, direct dive, and gonna get about 4 yards, and that'll do it for our opening quarter. Juan Diego, the Soaring Eagle, lead at 14-7 over the Morgan Trojans. I'm Tanner Wilkinson, joined by Dane Howe. We'll be back in 1 minute for the second quarter action.
Want to make your HD TV even better? Centricom has the HD channels you want. Our HD DVR gives you total control of your experience. And we're always adding new channels to serve you better. Why settle for less? Get our full HD lineup, now with over 61 HD channels. Call or visit us online and get the best HD experience from Centricom.
Checking out some of our first quarter highlights. A very eventful first quarter, Dane, as those of you that are joining us here for second quarter action from Stewart Stadium. Juan Diego leading at 14-7 on the Morgan Trojans, and one big play after another, one turnover after another. It's kind of hard to describe that first quarter with just how much took place in the Soaring Eagle. Dane knocking on the door again, trying to get in the end zone. Hoffman under center, sends a man in motion. And the reverse to Davis. Davis stays on his feet to the outside. He's a dangerous option as well. Still going and gets about 4 yards. Will set up a third down and about a yard to go for Juan Diego.
Speedster there, Davis. Running outside, met up. The first initial hit that he got was after a good running. Got another 3 yards after that first initial hit. Well done.
Does a good job, again, keeping those legs turning and to pull him by the back of the jersey to get him down on that one. Third and short, Hoffman under center. Dive up the middle, and a flag flies in. And chop block, you think?
I couldn't quite tell.
The handoff was up the middle to his fullback, to Hunter Easterly. And we'll get the call from the official here in just a moment. And from the body language, this may put Juan Diego back. Waiting the call from the official. Yeah, chop block. That's a 15-yarder? Are we hearing that right?
I believe it's just 10.
Okay. Yeah, that.
No.
Oh,
15,
it is 15.
right.
So that's going to set up now, instead of a 3rd and 1, you have a 3rd and 16. A first down would be at the 9-yard line. Hoffman. Kind of a play action now. He keeps it himself. Well contained by the Morgan defense, though, onto the outside, forcing him out of bounds, where it'll now be 4th down. And you got an interesting situation here if you're Juan Diego. Are you going to try and kick a field goal, or are you going to?
Here comes the kick.
And the kick unit comes out.
And that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. These penalties, especially here in big games like this, they change the game drastically. One little play like that, they would have had a first down here coming up. Morgan, the same thing happened earlier. These one play makes such a big difference in a drive.
This is going to be a 43-yard field goal attempt. And number 17 on to kick, Alexander Saunders, the lefty. From 42 yards out, kick is on its way. It's got the distance, and it is through for 3 from 42 yards, where Juan Diego now takes a 17-7 lead on Morgan. 11:05 to go. We're going to keep it here, Dane, and talk just a little bit about, again, some more of those penalties. As a coach, how much does this got to frustrate coaches Colissimo and Christiansen that their teams are getting penalties like that this late in the season?
From what I've seen, through personal experience, you see the coaches, they want to pull the hairs out of their head. It drives them crazy. But it's just all part of the game. You learn. Even you're never going to stop learning, even at the end of the season. You would just hope that you learn faster, but sometimes mistakes are inevitable. You're always going to make some here and there.
11:05 to go. Juan Diego set to kick. Morgan set to return. Got Miller and Runkles back there. 2 speedsters. Morgan offensively has been so impressive in terms of their chemistry and timing. Unfortunately, a couple turnovers have really cost them in the early going, as kickoff from Saunders goes to the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Morgan will set up shop 1st and 10.
Nice kick again.
What do you think the mindset needs to be for Morgan heading into this drive?
That's a tough one. Morgan, their offense still looks good, even though they're down 10 points. I say you take away a few of those penalties, they're back just up with Juan Diego, even winning maybe.
And they shift up their formation just a little bit. Only one receiver out wide. Trips to the left. Single back is Miller. Handoff goes to Miller. Miller's got a big hole to the outside, and he uses it to get about 9 yards on that first down run. A great play from Bridger Miller. Give him 9, make it 2nd and 2.
Miller running outside, he read that block very well. Number 8, his teammate, he's that slot there. He meets number 37, does a great block.
That's Cass Giles.
I give props to him. Got another 5 yards just because of that block.
2nd down and 1. Stevens in the shotgun. Empty backfield for Stevens. He goes with the tight end, trips to the left, single receiver to the right. On 2nd down and 1, Stevens takes the snap, loses the snap, picks it up, and is going to go down, is sacked. And man, just little things like that, as you mentioned, really could pay a dividend in a state championship game. Ball, he just doesn't quite, he starts moving before the ball gets to him.
He's looking downfield already. And once that happened, it didn't take long for Juan Diego to capitalize on that.
Once again, that's Jaden Madry, who's been very good for the Soaring Eagle. Also on the play, Zachary Meekum.
Juan Diego, the Soaring Eagles inside tackles, their D tackles, they got some big boys out there.
Chinoso is part of that. Chinoso Opara, who's come on. Throw over the middle. Oh, caught. Did he hold on? They're saying he did. It's a first down. What a tough catch from Jake Runkles. Move the chains. First down. What composure from Stevens in the pocket. And just another dime right on the money.
We've been talking a lot about Hurd, but Steffens, he's been utilizing all his tools very well. Runkles right there. He's been very well distributing the ball.
And Hoffman, the quarterback for Juan Diego, is the one who laid the hit right there as a defensive back. Steffens in the shotgun, takes the snap, throws, complete again. Unbelievable, impressive passing. There's your boy Hurd with the catch. Tyson Hurd, gain of 9 again, set up 2nd and short.
This has got to be kind of frustrating if you're a Juan Diego cornerback. They're looking at the replay, they're not doing anything wrong. They're doing good coverage. He closed on the play as fast as he possibly could. But Hurd, he just catches everything in his way.
The receivers do a good job putting the ball getting where they're supposed to be, and the quarterback does a great job putting it on. And another bad snap right over his head, and Juan Diego appears to potentially have the football.
It looks like Juan Diego's got it. They are fighting in a pile.
And I thought I just saw one official point that way already, briefly. Oh, man, 2 bad. Well, the first snap wasn't necessarily bad. That was just a bad snap. Morgan pointing one way.
It looked like Juan Diego D-tackle was the first one to get on it. Let's see what they call here.
Looks like there's 2 guys left at the bottom of the. Let's see what the official call is going to be. Morgan retains possession. Wow.
What happened underneath that pile, the world may never know.
Get that guy a Tootsie Pop, man. Holy cow. And just threw Stevens' hand. It wasn't a horrible snap. It wasn't as bad as it looked, and it looked like Juan Diego
number 5
initially recovers it. Oh, right there. Unbelievable. Wow.
Took a lucky bounce right there for Morgan. Number 5 was just over it, bounced right underneath his leg.
Dallin Rowley, the one who comes up with the offensive fumble recovery. So 3rd and 9 now. So they pick up a good amount on first downs on both these series this drive, and then lose yardage as he throws and just miscommunication there between Runkles and Steffens, and he throws it too far and out of bounds, and it'll be 4th down, and man alive, the Trojans unable to capitalize.
A rare miscommunication. Seems like I don't even know how to communicate anymore.
4th down, and the Trojans will punt, and Zach Hoffman's the punt returner. Not very often you see a quarterback return punts, and this is a great punt over the head of Hoffman, who goes back to make the catch at the 20-yard line. Hoffman stiff arms his way out of bounds at the 27, and there aren't a ton of times you see a quarterback run back punts. Brady Ace did that in our days at Manti.
Yes.
At times he would run punts back as the quarterback just because of his pure speed.
Sometimes it's a risky thing to do, to use your quarterback so much, but when you got a player on your team that's athletic enough.
And hey, it's the state championship game.
Yeah. You don't need to save him for a game after this.
1st down and 10, Hoffman. Oh, it goes shotgun. A completely different look for Juan Diego.
Trips to the right.
Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, and just a throw over the middle to the fullback, who makes the catch down at the 30, 45, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Juan Diego.
Man, I got to tip my hat off to
Hunter
this.
Eastley, the big fullback, rumbling, stumbling all his way into the end zone.
And that's how you spread out the defense. They had the trips out to the right.
Just snuck him right over the middle.
Good catch, and an easy dump pass right over the middle, and he just outran everyone. No one caught him.
And Ethan Wheeler's got to make that tackle there. He was there to make the hit. And
He
just
was.
kinda, and great hustle downfield by Dallin Rowley. Just too little, too late as he crossed the plane. And the Soaring Eagle, PAT pending, will put them up 24-7. Kick's good, or at least it appears good, and it is good. So with 7:32 to go here in the opening half, Juan Diego leading Morgan 24-7 here at the 3A State Championship. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back here to Stewart Stadium on the beautiful campus of Weber State University. 24-7, Juan Diego leading Morgan. What an unbelievable pass play to Hunter Easterly there. Kickoff on its way and in the end zone for a touchback. And Morgan's just had some bad breaks offensively, Dane. They've looked really good at times, but they've only been able to put together one really sound drive.
This very last play that gave Juan Diego a chance to score again, it was they had a good position. It was, I believe it was third down and then a fumble, or second down then a fumble, put them in bad position to make a first down. Little ticky-tack things like that are keeping Morgan out of the game.
And the way this offense can be explosive, though, you never know, as Miller hits that outside hard, just runs into a slew of defenders, still gets about 3 yards on the carry. He's taken out of bounds by Austin Gillespie along with Jesse Trujillo.
Juan Diego nicely played out here. Stephens, he hands it off to the side, running outside, has not much where to go. Met hard by number 32, number 5. Good tackle, good defensive play there.
Second down and 7:21 to go. Here in the opening quarter, or opening half, excuse me, 7:21. Miller, or Stevens back to throw, dumps it off. Nice screen to Tyson Hurd. Hurd stays forward and gets the first down. A great little wide receiver screen. Waited for the play to develop as he hit Hurd, and he gets the first down to move the sticks for Morgan. Heavy pressure, too, coming in from Austin Gillespie. Hurd has been so good here in this first half for Morgan. Hand up to the outside, it's Bridger Miller. Miller turns back upfield and
Nowhere to go.
nowhere to go. That defensive line is just so big. Kyle Abundo in there making plays. David Holverson in there. Big number 79, Alex Bemis. A lot of big guys for the Soaring Eagle. And officials stopping. Oh, they were just stopping the clock for some odd reason. Now they say go. 6.5 to go. Steffens back to pass. Ball fake, steps up and just overthrows his man. Out of bounds. I believe that was intended for Jack Cameron on the outside, number 23.
Now Morgan here, their offensive line did a great job in the pass protection. Everyone was one-on-one.
They've been really good all day.
Yeah.
Steffens has had tons of time to throw the football all day.
Yeah, that's true. Props to the Morgan offensive line.
I think you got to give props to the secondary of Juan Diego. They've played really well.
They have, that's true.
Morgan's just made really good plays as Stevens throws downfield again, man. Just outside the hands of number 2, Jake Runkles, and that'll set up this third. This will be fourth down, I believe. Oh, there's a flag. Oh, a late hit on Juan Diego is going to give a first down to the Morgan Trojans. And again, silly penalties day, and that's been the story kind of this first half, with both teams getting critical penalties at critical
time. Going both ways. Had that not happened, fourth down, they'd been Juan Diego ball here this next play if they weren't able to convert. And now they just handed over a free early Christmas present, a first down for Morgan.
Ball on the 50-yard line. Steffens handoff to the outside to Miller, and he is just swarmed by a slew of Soaring Eagle led by Samuel Knutson getting in there. Wow. This defensive line stopping the run has been so impressive for Juan Diego. It's kind of surprising that they haven't been able to blitz or get any sacks so far in this game, minus a bad snap.
That's true. That is interesting that you point that out. They're on the run defense, they're doing a great job. Pass, Steffens has got all kinds of time.
It's got Johnny Harleen time. 2nd and 11, flags flying, a false start on Morgan. So now that's going to set up a 2nd down and 16 for the Trojans. Let's give you a quick score update around college football. Number 1 Georgia trailing number 10 Auburn in Auburn, Alabama, 9-7 in favor of the Auburn Tigers. Georgia number 1 in the country. They've looked really, really good this year in college football. Many teams have them pegged ahead of Alabama, or many people do, I guess. I don't know if I'd go that far just quite yet. But 2nd down and 16. Steffens in the shotgun, takes the snap. Again, plenty of time, throws to the outside. It's caught to the outside by Runkles, and he makes a nice job getting a couple extra yards. Now, instead of a 3rd and really long, you've got a 3rd and about 7-6 yards to go. These receivers, Dane, they do a really good job of, once they make the catch, turning their body upfield and getting those few extra yards. They make the catch, they turn, and they go. And that's really important when you run a spread offense.
Yeah, looking at the replay right there was a perfect example. Runkles, I was shocked how he's able just to twist his body in such a tight way in order to get a couple more yards right after that. Impressive.
Big 3rd down for the Trojans. Steffens. It's a handoff to Miller. Miller shoots the gap and does not get the first down, but my impression there is Morgan's planning on going for it on 4th down regardless. When you run a play like that there.
That's what they're going to do.
And a good run by Miller, a good hole, hits that gap super hard. Going up the middle as you see Ginoso Opara. 4th down and 3 to go. This could be the play of the half as we're approaching halftime. 4 minutes to go. Remember, Juan Diego will get the ball to start the 2nd half. Critical the Trojans get a score before halftime.
Send in the blitz.
Throw incomplete. And a flag flies in late. Oh, man, what a bailout call. Wow. And maybe this was pass interference, but that flag came flying in super late. So a 1st down.
Lucky break for Morgan.
So one side of the stadium booing, the other side cheering. If you're a Juan Diego fan, that call upsets you. If you're on the side of the Trojans.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Wow.
I don't know.
Not a lot of contact. And with it being pass interference, that brings them all the way up to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, so 2 costly penalties on 3rd and 4th downs. Pump fake from Stevens. Goes, he's got a man open. And coming back to make the catch is Runkles. Jake Runkles, what a first half for this kid down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Morgan Trojans.
That's how you read a ball. If you look here, Steffens, Runkles, he did his job getting open. He had to come back for it.
Oh, ball tipped by the Juan Diego defender.
Still caught it.
Wow.
With the one hand against his shoulder pad.
Give Cole Beasley a call. Holy cow.
He only had one arm free. The other one was already wrapped up by the defender. That's all he had to use.
That was more pass interference than the call
earlier.
that they called. 1st and goal for the Trojans. 3:37 to go. Handoff inside into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Number 20, Porter Giles takes it in for 6. PAT pending. 24-13. Juan Diego still leading, but Morgan with an opportunity to cut into this lead before halftime.
Yeah, we got an exciting ball game on our hands.
That's a huge, huge score for the Trojans as we await the PAT here. Snap is away. Hold is good. Kick is a bit high, but through for one. So with 3:32 to go here in the first half, it's the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle leading 24-14 over the Morgan Trojans. It's the 3A state championship game. Morgan right back in it. We'll be right back after 30 seconds.
High-speed Wi-Fi. Not quite as important as running water in your home, but close. Centricom powers your Wi-Fi network with consistent speeds to keep all your gadgets going strong. Streaming video players, laptops, tablets, even smartphones, so you're never stuck with those big cell data charges. And talk about value. Just pick your speed and keep the Wi-Fi flowing in your home at a great low price. Upgrade your internet today. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Welcome back here to Weber State University, Stewart Stadium, on a beautiful fall day. It wasn't this nice when you played here in the state championship your senior year. You can attest to that.
I still got the frostbite scars to prove it.
Morgan set to kick off here. A huge score from the Trojans, 24-14. Juan Diego still leading it here. 3 minutes to go before halftime. Davis set to return at the 6-yard line. Davis turns the corner. He's got some good blocking and a good tackle to prevent a long play. I believe that was Bridger Miller, the running back, in to make that special teams play as Dallin Davis returned it out to about the 26, 27-yard line. Good blocking from Juan Diego downfield.
That kick was a little different than the other ones we've seen. It was a lot higher, but he caught it around the 10-yard line, just a little bit after the 10-yard line, giving it a good chance to return it.
And I wonder if Morgan wanted the clock to run there in that situation, if that's why they kicked high and short.
That'd be my guess.
Hoffman under center, sends a man in motion. It's a handoff directly up the middle to Tinozo, who runs into the official. And and Tinozo not happy about that. I wouldn't be either in that type of situation. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to really bash on refs, but well, as you see on the replay here, just runs right into the official. The official gives him a little chest to chest there.
First stat for the official for the night.
One tackle. Second down and 3 to go. Juan Diego leads it by 10, 24-14. 2:49 to go, and let's see what we got here. Looks like a timeout called by the Soaring Eagle. Want to talk about some things offensively here. And they will have just 2 remaining. Morgan with 2 as well. 2:48 to go. We'll keep it here as we look at some other scores from around college football. Number 20, Iowa, taking on number 8, Wisconsin. The Badgers remain undefeated. Wisconsin leads at 10-7, nearing halftime in that one. Number 4, Clemson leads Florida State 17-0. The Tigers trying to get back to the college football playoff. Dabo Swinney, one of my favorite coaches in America, just such a good guy. Bronco Mendenhall's Virginia squad taking on Lamar Jackson in Louisville. Louisville leads at 17-7, mid-second quarter in that one as well. Let's take a look at some of the scores from earlier today. Oklahoma State ranked 15, Iowa State ranked 21st. 49-42 Oklahoma State wins in a shootout. How about Iowa State? Iowa State hasn't been good for a long time. I mean, anyway, we're back now to the play with Juan Diego, a second down and short coming out of that timeout. Hoffman's under center. It's an option play to the outside. Now a pass play. Hoffman steps up, throws, and it's complete for a first down. I believe Dallin Davis, the receiver, makes the catch and moves the sticks for a first down.
Right in the breadbasket there. Good pass by Hoffman.
He can do it both. I thought he was going to take off and run.
That's a tough pass. He's running out to his left. He has to turn his body, throws it right on the money.
First down, clock stops for the first down markers to move, the chains to move. 2:33 to go, 24-14. Hoffman under center. Sends a man out in motion. Takes the snap, keeps it himself, and goes nowhere. Only gets 1 or 2 yards. It'll set up second down and 8.
With the clock going these last 2 minutes of the half, one more touchdown for Juan Diego would be huge.
Juan Diego again still with 2 timeouts. Same with Morgan. Interesting. I'm interested to see how these timeouts are used. Juan Diego does not use one there. Hoffman under center, sends a man out in motion. It's a handoff to the outside speed back who cuts up field. Is still not going to get the first down though. Only gets about 3 or 4 yards. That's number 10, Luke Prokopis, their leading receiver.
A nice open field tackle there by number 8. Met him very, very quickly. So he couldn't get any more yards there.
Cass Giles. So you have Porter and Cass Giles, both for,
right there,
for Morgan.
Brought
Great
him down.
open field tackle. Amen. 3rd down and about 4 to go. Huge if the Trojans can get a stop here. 1:21 to go. Handoff up the middle, and
open.
Tinozo
He's
is going to be gone into the end zone. 15-10-5, touchdown, Soaring Eagle. And just a missed assignment. Tinozo taking it in, 4-6. 30-14, Juan Diego. PAT pending, 1:14 to go before halftime.
Hoffman, he is so tricky. You don't know when he's, the last 3 times he's just been running it out. That time he really did give it the first option, the dive man. And no one was even close. No one even came within 5 yards of him that whole play.
PAT is up and through for 3. Saunders, PAT is good, 31-14, 1:14 to go. Here before the half. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with more here on Centricom Channel 10.
I'm John Sorensen. I'm a general surgeon here at Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi. For the last 29 years, I've been involved in the U.S. Army Medical Corps and deployed 4 times in the last 15 years. When I got back, I decided I wanted to work in a smaller community and take care of patients. Nephi fits that bill very nicely. The people are wonderful. I think all of my experiences have contributed to making me a better physician. I'm interested in continuing to improve myself and my skills here in Nephi.
Welcome back here to Stewart Stadium. Juan Diego just scoring again to take a 31-14 lead. 1:14 to go until halftime. Saunders kick high and into the end zone. An unreturnable ball. So if you're Morgan, I think you got to hurry up and try and score a touchdown here, because Juan Diego gets the ball to start the second half and already down 17. That's a tough boat to be in. If the Soaring Eagle hold Morgan here and then score again to open up the 3rd quarter.
They've already more than doubled Morgan's score here. To me, I know a half is a lot, but to become a real competitor coming in the second half, Morgan's got to score here.
Even a field goal would do wonders.
That's true.
For the Trojans. And it's a double reverse play. Number 17 is out to pass, and he's just got to keep it. Runs forward, still on his feet, and he has a first down. Unbelievable run by number 17.
That's our man.
Tyson Hurd, who was brought around to throw a pass deep. The man wasn't there, and Hurd.
Mr. Everything today.
I like when coaches mix things up like this offensively. Keeping the defense on their toes. Good blocking. See the seagull fly in right there. Throw over the middle, caught for a first down. Up the middle to number 21, Talon Polat, who had a big catch in the first quarter. Moves the sticks, another first down as Morgan's going no huddle here, 52 ticks to play. Great route.
Cross route right up the middle.
Ball on the 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Clock's ticking.
Clock ticking, 43 seconds. Stevens taking his time, takes the snap. Good pass protection again, steps up in the pocket, rolls out, he's got lots of room. Heads to the outside, trying to get out of bounds. He gets a first down and a little bit more. You got to hustle though, 30 seconds. Clock does stop to reset the change. If you're Stevens, you got to have a play set. You can't be looking to the sideline right here. You got to know as the quarterback what you want to call.
Perhaps it would have been smarter. He did get the first down, the clock did stop for that.
And it looks like Morgan's going to take a timeout anyway. They have 2 remaining. Good call timeout from the Trojans. One other college football game I want to bring up real quick before. Number 12, Michigan State visiting number 13, Ohio State. Ohio State won today 48-3.
Oh, man.
After losing last week to an unranked Iowa team who's now ranked. Big Ten is a mystery as of right now in college football. Some local coverage. BYU got a big win last night against UNLV. Obviously, the Cougars won't go bowling for the first time since 2004. But I was really happy for Kalani Sitake last night. It's been a long season for him, a long season for BYU. They weren't favored to beat UNLV. UNLV was still trying to make a bowl game. And Squally Canada, over 200 yards rushing for BYU. Joe Critchlow makes his first start. The redheaded stepchild, as many are calling him, coming in a season like this. So BYU gets that win. Utah kicks off here in about 20 minutes or so. They're hosting number 19 Washington State at Rice-Eccles Stadium. If the Utes beat Washington State, they will be bowl eligible as well. And I believe Utah State is on a bye this week, if I remember correctly. The Aggies on a bye. Weber State visiting out Portland State. Our good buddy Jared Sheese. Wish him luck out there as the snaps to Stevens. And it's another reverse play. A lot of room to the outside. And you got to get out of bounds here, and he does, smartly does. That still took a lot of time off the clock to run a play like that. Jake Runkles gets out of bounds for 3, 23.2 to play.
And those are the plays that it's a 40-yard run for a gain of 2.
Yeah.
Or gain of 4, rather.
Second down and a long 6, about 7 to go for Morgan. Trojans really need a touchdown, Dane, here before halftime. Touchdown would put them within 10.
4 receivers to the left.
Stevens steps up in the pocket, avoids to the outside, still going, still on his feet, and he's going to get brought down right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And if you're Morgan, it looks like they called a timeout. The clock has stopped, 15.5 remaining. At this point, you take 2 shots at the end zone. You have 2 downs.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Whether you want to deem this as a desperate time or not,
I definitely think it is.
I would say it is.
Oh, yeah.
Still have a whole other half to play, but coming in at a half with any more points than you do have right now will make a big difference.
3rd down and 7, 15.5 to go. Morgan's out of timeouts. So essentially you have 2 downs here. And unless you get the first down and run up to the clock and spike it, you can pull a Riley Nelson and pull a fake spike. So here we go, critical 3rd down. Really, I think you go for it on 4th down here either way.
For sure.
Because then you'll have time for, what, 1 play left. 2 receivers to each side, both lined up behind each other. Stevens is the shotgun. Miller is his lone tailback.
Nose guard 2 DNs. And only sending 2
Steffens
men.
takes a shot over the middle, and it's hauled in for a first down. Now you got to run up and spike it, but a flag flies. What for? Flag will stop the play, or the clock rather, at 10.3.
It looks like it may have been a holding.
Oh.
On number 64.
Man, that would be a killer for Morgan in this situation. Still awaiting the call from the official as they're huddled. Crowd rumbling a little bit. Let's see. Oh, on Juan Diego. Oh, so there's one on both.
And 64.
So those penalties offset. The result of the play is a first down. I thought the penalties offset and you replay the down. I don't think the official has the play right there. John Calissimo rightfully upset on the sideline. It should still be a 3rd and 7 with 15 seconds left.
And that there was Hunter Easterly, the big fullback that scored a little earlier.
Yeah, had that long touchdown reception.
Yeah. A lot of athletes here on these teams playing both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
Man alive, officials really struggling to try and figure this out. And smartly, Jake Stevens is saying, hey, let's get a play call in now. And They're moving the ball even further up. Now they're moving it back. This is bizarre. So now they're saying...
Not even close to the line where the chains are at. Oh, there they go.
Now they're moving them back. This hasn't been handled the best.
I don't know who's more confused, me or the refs here.
So I think it's still first down. Man, this is just weird. That's odd. So they say they occurred at different times, but it was still the same play.
Huh.
So first down and 10 from the 30 or from the 26. 10 seconds to go. Throws incomplete, and that was probably the best case scenario with that type of a play. 3.6 time for one last. It looks like they're going to kick here. Could there be a fake? All right, looks like Morgan's going to kick the field goal to end the half. 3.6, final play of half number one. It's 31-14. Juan Diego leads it. Kick on its way. It's got the distance, and it's just left.
That was close.
It looked like it was going to be good, and then just ekes to the left. A tough way to end the half if you're Morgan. Well, that's going to do it for our first half. The Juan Diego Soaring Eagle lead at 31-14 over the Morgan Trojans. I'm Tanner Wilkinson. He's Dane Howe. We'll be back with some halftime coverage in 2 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, each year the Utah High School Activities Association has sponsored an academic all-state team to recognize those young men who have excelled in the classroom as well as in competition. The Deseret News has joined with the UHSAA as title sponsor for this prestigious award. Today we have representing the UHSAA Assistant Director Mr. Jeff Clough and Assistant Director Mr. John Oglesby. From Morgan High School, Athletic Director Tyrell Mixell. This year's academic all-staters are from Carvin High School, Nathan Olson. From Emory High School, Landon Fairbanks. From Grantsville High School, Brady Arbon. From UAB High School, Alex White. From Juan Diego High School, Zachary Hoffman. From Morgan High School, Dylan Petty. From Morgan High School, Talon Polak. From Summit Academy High School, Jesse Hooper. From Union High School, Jordan Berthoff. And from Union High School, Jeremy Miller. These young men were selected to this team on the basis of their athletic ability and academic proficiency. It might interest you to know that the combined grade point average of this team is 3.993. Please join the Deseret News and the UHSAA in congratulating these young men with a great round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention toward midfield. And welcome the Morgan High School Troyettes performing Scarecrow. And now introducing the 2017 region champs and state champion runner-ups, the Juan Diego Silver Line. They're coached by Megan Williams Michael Barlow. The captains are Riley Leeson and Danielle Ahern. The silver line.
Welcome back. It's halftime here at Stewart Stadium between the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle and the Morgan Trojans. You're just watching the drill teams and cheerleaders perform from the other schools, as well as the Academic All-State Awards that were given out just at halftime as well. 3 of them playing in this game today, Dane, including
our man,
Zach Hoffman. Yeah, doing a nice job. Let's go over some stats here as you watch our instant replay first half highlights. Great job, as always, by our main man, Barrett, setting us up today. And what a beautiful, beautiful place it is here in Ogden to watch this football game. Great stadium, great view from our broadcasting booth. As we mentioned, it's a lot nicer today than it was when you played here for the state championship your senior year.
I'd much rather take this day over that day for sure.
As mentioned, let's go ahead and break down some of these stats, Dana. First downs. Morgan actually has more first downs than Juan Diego does. 14-9. Morgan has as many first downs as they have points in the game.
I think that's understandable because Juan Diego, each drive, it seems like they have a couple 40-plus yard just in one play.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense why they would have less first downs than Morgan.
It's been all about the big play for the Soaring Eagle. They have 180 yards on the ground, 175 through the air. So they have a total of 355 yards in the first half. Morgan has to tighten up defensively and not give up so many big plays. As for the Trojans, struggled running the football, just 41 yards on the ground. But Jake Stevens had 229 yards passing in that first half.
Impressive.
I mean, really impressive for him, the way he was throwing the football. Just a tough break for the Trojans. Penalties, running out of time, little plays, bad snaps. That's ultimately what hurt Morgan there in that first half. No interceptions, but 3 fumbles, 2 for Morgan, 1 from Juan Diego, all in the first quarter. It seemed like within a 5-minute span of each other, ultimately have played a big part in this first half. And you mentioned penalties. Juan Diego, 6 penalties for 63 yards. Morgan, 3 for 30. And with Morgan, their penalties have always come at the wrong time.
That's true.
Where Juan Diego's, they've been bad penalties. They've been penalties that have put them in poor situations, but not nearly as consequential as the ones that Morgan's faced.
And I think it's interesting, if you look at the score at this half, 31-14 in favor of Juan Diego, just by the score, you would think Juan Diego is just completely dominating in all aspects of the game, which, in my opinion, they have been doing better than Morgan. But when you look at the play in the game seems very equal on both sides, perhaps with Juan Diego a little bit better. But like what you're saying, these penalties, they're having huge consequences on the outcome of Morgan's score.
And the Trojans have not been able to get in the end zone as a result. Found their way in there twice. Let's go to some individual stats for the Soaring Eagle. Tenosi, 83 yards rushing. Over half of that came on a 45-yard touchdown drive from Tenosi. Hoffman has 75 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Easterly, 13 yards rushing, and Davis with 5. Hoffman, 3 of 4 passing for 99 yards and a touchdown, including a 72-yard strike to Easterly. Davis, 1 for 1, 76 yards on that double reverse pass out to Zach Hoffman, excuse me. Alex was his brother, who was the quarterback here several seasons ago. Receiving, Hoffman is your leading passer, he's your second leading rusher, and he's your leading receiver in the game. 1 catch for 76 yards. Easterly, 1 catch, 72 yards and a touchdown. Tenosi, 1 catch, 14 yards, and Davis with 1 catch for 13 yards on the ball game. Overall, Juan Diego not afraid to get it to their best guys and ultimately let them do the work throughout this first half. Let's go to Morgan now. Running the football. Bridger Miller has kind of been the guy that's really taken the bulk of carries, 7 carries, 22 yards, or excuse me, 7 carries, 21 yards, pardon. And then Hurd had a 12-yard rush as well, kind of made something out of nothing. Runkles with 2 carries for 8 yards, and Stevens 4 carries for just 4 yards on the day. Although Stevens did have a 16-yard scamper, he's also been sacked a couple of times due to bad snaps. Stevens, though, very impressive, 229 yards passing, 16 of 24, and he has a touchdown throw as well. That touchdown pass, by the way, extremely impressive to Runkles, who is their leading receiver. It's not Hurd. It's not our man Tyson Hurd. He has 5 catches for 57. Runkles 5 for 67 and a touchdown. Polad has been solid as well, 3 for 58. And Neuschwander, who I'd be shocked to see him in the second half with that hyperextension of his knee. We wish him the best going forward. He had 2 catches for 40 yards. Let's just again break down the scoring plays that have gone down here in the first half. It started off Juan Diego after recovering a fumble. Zach Hoffman, a 2-yard touchdown run, capitalized really quick, and I think that was important for Juan Diego, and they set the tone early in this ball game. In doing so, Morgan, Runkles, 10-yard pass from Stevens. Again, a beautiful pass, beautiful catch. Morgan ties things up at 7. Hoffman, another 2-yard touchdown run, 14-7 Juan Diego at that point. And then a 32-yard, I believe that was actually a 42-yard field goal by Saunders, not a 32-yarder, making it 17-7. And then Easterly, a 72-yard pass from Hoffman to make it 24-7. Giles answers with a 3-yard touchdown run of his own for Morgan to make it 24-14. And Tanazi with a 45-yard touchdown run right before halftime. And then, fortunately for the Trojans, Dane, they just ran out of time before halftime.
Yeah, tough break for them there.
Coming up, about 3 minutes to go here on our halftime show. Let's get to some keys to the second half for both teams. Offensively, Dane, one key for Morgan and one key for Juan Diego.
Well, this is what I think is happening. Morgan, they started off great with their passing game, and then they got a little decent. It seems like Juan Diego caught on just a little bit there on that last drive. Juan Diego, I think they're going to really own in on their pass coverage, their pass defense, making sure that they can shut that down. Once they shut that down, you would think that Morgan wouldn't have much of a game by their numbers in their rushing game. They haven't been too impressive. Morgan, if they want to become a competitive again in this game, they got to make sure that they can really spread out their offense as well. I don't see them really coming back just with the passing. They're going to have to make Juan Diego be honest. They got to open up other ways that they can score, because once they can cut off that tool, if they can cut down their Morgan's passing, that seems like that would be the dagger for them.
One play I really liked for Morgan that didn't really work for them, but I feel like they should run in the second half, was that screen play. Bridger Miller was going to have a lot of room, but it was just read really well by the Juan Diego defender, and so it didn't go anywhere for the Trojans. Defensively, some keys in the second half.
Defensively, something's got to be done about this Juan Diego offense. It seems, as of right now, it seems like not much can be done. They just march the field right down. I think if you can hold Juan Diego, take away those big plays that they're having, Morgan will have a good shot. They really are doing a decent job on their defense. Just these few really big plays that come out, those are making the biggest impact on this game so far.
Big opportunity for Juan Diego to kind of put this game away too. They get the ball here to start the second half.
Yeah.
And that, if Morgan is unable, Morgan's shown they can be stout at times. They've done a good job holding Juan Diego at times. Can they do it consistently, and can they avoid giving up the big play?
And that's the question. If I were to put in a one-liner, be consistent. They do good. They have spurts where they're just doing great. And all of a sudden they'll slip up, a missed coverage. For example, a perfect example of that middle dump pass to Hunter Eastley, where they just got that huge play for a touchdown.
72 yards.
72 yards. If Morgan can cut out those plays, Morgan will be back in the game.
Really interesting to see how Morgan comes out. Do you see an onside kick? Does something crazy happen to open up this third quarter? The New Orleans Saints did it in the Super Bowl. They were losing to the Colts at halftime in 2010.
Well,
came out with an onside kick.
By the way that things have been going so far in the game, I can only expect the unexpected. I've seen so many plays.
It's been an odd first half.
It has.
To say the least.
I would expect that Morgan's going to have to bring out some buried weapons, something that they haven't used for a while, something that hopefully will get them back in this game.
And we are just about set to kick off the second half. 30 seconds on our halftime clock. The Morgan student section up on their feet. Trojans will kick off. Again in the maroon uniforms, maroon tops, white bottoms. Juan Diego in a whiteout. White tops, white bottoms with the aqua blue trimming. Is that a fair assessment of the color?
I believe it's called dark indigo blue, technically.
Teal? Coral?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Tanner Wilkinson, Dane Howe, my color man for you this afternoon. The sun beginning to set. 3:35 is our local time here in Ogden, Utah. 12 minutes is our time on the clock for this third quarter as Morgan set to kick off. Juan Diego with 3 men back to receive. Davis, one of them. He's shown he can be dangerous at times, and this is going to be a nice long boot right at the 1-yard line, nice and high. Ball returned to the outside by number 18 for the Soaring Eagle as they get right about to the 20-yard line. That's going to be Miller Cordial with the return.
The first returnable kick that Saunders that has kicked so far that's made it possible to return for Morgan.
Ball in the 20, so it's no different than a touchback. Juan Diego will have it 1st and 10. This a unbelievably critical situation here for the Morgan Trojans. From the defensive side. Handoff directly up the middle and gang tackling, but still falling forward is Hunter Eastley. Looked like he was going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, fell forward for a gain of 3.
And Eastley, he's a big boy. He got met up right at the line of scrimmage, not really too much to go, but he made something out of nothing there again. He got a good 3-yard gain.
Must be listening to Uncle Rico. Second down and 7. 3-yard gain for Hoffman. And the Soaring Eagle calls a bit of an audible at the line of scrimmage. Takes a snap. Play action. Hoffman throws it to the outside, and it is incomplete, but a flag flies. And that's a tough play if you're Morgan. All Gabe Bott had to do was turn his body, and he would have had an interception. He didn't even have to really defend the guy. It wasn't that well thrown of a ball, but instead, it's a first down for the Soaring Eagle.
Yeah, tough break for that guy. Almost hit him right in the back. The receiver, he's trying to reach around his body to get it, but just because he was in the way and he didn't turn around, that's why it's called a PI.
Had he turned around, that wouldn't have been pass interference.
Yeah, that's correct.
I believe the term in the NFL is face guarding, I think is what they call it. And that's a big no-no in the game of football. 1st and 10, Soaring Eagle now, and another costly penalty for Morgan. Pitch to the outside. And a flag flies, likely going to be a hold as Easterly takes it to the outside for a gain of about 3 or 4, but this looks like a hold, and that's exactly what the call is. And is Easterly down? He's not getting up.
And he's hurt. There he is, gets up.
Gets up, and it looks like he's holding his back, maybe his tailbone on that play as we see here on the replay. And there's the hold on the backside. Easterly goes forward and just takes a hard hit.
Landed right on his back.
Yeah.
Pretty hard.
I'd expect he'd be back in the game. Just a bit of a stinger. He's been huge for them.
He has.
Blocking, making big catches.
Anytime they need a short 3-yard run, he's the man.
First down and 20 now for the Soaring Eagle of Juan Diego. Zach Hoffman sends a man in motion. It's Tinozo. Hoffman back to pass, heavy pressure, throws over the middle, complete to Davis for a solid gain of like about 13 yards before he just gets decleated by number 77, Jamison Buraston, or Buraston, I'd imagine is how you pronunciate that. Let's check this on the replay. The D tackle comes from behind and just lights up Davis. Look at how quickly he came in. Lowers the shoulder, a beautiful football hit.
Came out of nowhere.
Those are the hits you liked to make back in the day, Dane.
I wish I could hit like Jamison right there. That was a good hit.
And looks like Morgan jumping off sides. Man alive. Wrong penalties at the wrong time for the Trojans. That's going to be Brennan Sanders who jumped offside. So now, instead of having a 2nd and long, you have 2nd and short. Oh, they give him the first down. They're showing 6 to go. Must have been close enough for the first down. 1st and 10, Soaring Eagle moving the football well. Approaching 10 minutes to go here in our 3rd quarter here at Stewart Stadium at Weber State University. And another flag flies in. This is a heavy penalty quarter as the handoff went to number 33, Jackson Butler for the Soaring Eagle. And an illegal formation. That's only a 5-yard penalty, so now we'll have 1st and 15.
Bringing it right back. It seems like every other play, I swear, every 4 plays, there's some type of penalty, it seems like.
First down and 15 for the Soaring Eagle, as this a critical defensive sequence. Last time it was 1st and 20. Juan Diego got the first down. Can Morgan become a little more stout here? Man in motion is Davis. Hoffman takes the snap. Play action. Pocket collapses. Hoffman has nowhere to go. Spins out of another tackler, and he's finally brought down. Guess who? Big number 77 coming in once again on the play. Jamison Buraston.
And props to Hoffman there too. He got out of 3 or 4 tackles just using his nimble feet work.
Got back to the line of scrimmage. It looked like he was going to get taken down for a loss. 2nd down and 15 now.
Regard.
Morgan.
Misses 1, 2, 3. Then all of a sudden 4. And then Jameson was the guy to clean up the rest.
This Morgan crowd starting to get loud, and they need this crowd on their side. Hoffman back to pass, throws over the middle, ball tipped, a great tip ball out by number 20. Porter Giles got his hand on it to break the pass up. 3rd down and 15. Bit of a lofty pass there by Hoffman.
Easterly, it's good to see him back in. That play, that was the same play where he scored that 72-yard touchdown.
In the first
They
half.
had the trips on the right, opened up in the middle. Pass looked a little behind. No, it got tipped. You're right.
A great tip by Giles. 3rd down and 15. Can the Trojans make a defensive stand? It's one they've been needing this entire second half. 9:24 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Man in motion is Trujillo. Hoffman. Roll out to the right. It's a designed screen. Ball batted down, incomplete. The Trojans figured it out rather quickly. They stayed back, and the pass deflected by number 53, Dylan Petty.
50.
Connor Watkins.
Well read.
Really well read. And Petty was also in on the play following. It's 4th and 15 regardless. Punt coming on for Juan Diego. Just the stop Morgan needed. Low snap. Ball's picked up, and a beautiful punt. And it's going to, that could have been poison. That could have been awful. Ball takes a friendly Juan Diego bounce to the 13-yard line. Regardless, Morgan gets the football back, and a chance for Jake Stevens in the offense to try and get another score. 9:06 to go. Juan Diego took control in the 2nd quarter.
This right here, if Morgan wants any more momentum in this game, this drive will determine if they're going to have that momentum that they're going to need later. Trying to keep your hopes up as the clock keeps on ticking, and if you haven't scored yet, it's going to make a big difference. This drive is going to be a big one.
Stevens back to throw, short to the outside, and I thought
a little bit of contact.
A lot of contact there as Hurd was an intended receiver.
Let's see what happens
and let's
here.
see. He's being held the whole way. There have been a few pass interference calls that have been let go today, and then they've called some more of the ticky-tack ones. Tyson Hurd had a really good first half. All the receivers did a great job in that first half for the Morgan Trojans. Play action. His throws on the run while he's hit, and it's caught. Oh, what a huge, huge catch coming in by Jake Runkles again. And that's enough for a 1st down. Oh, they say incomplete. They changed their minds. Let's see here on the replay. He gets hit as he delivers the football. Oh, and the ball does kind of sneak out there and hits the ground. I thought it's close. I thought right as the ball hit the receiver, kind of skipped as the receiver put his hands on the ball.
That very well could have been.
I could be wrong. It was very close. 3rd and 10 now. Stevens back to throw to the outside, and guess who? With a pass interference on him. Multiple flags fly. Tyson Hurd makes the 1st down catch.
That's what you call in football an and one, translated from from basketball. With the foul, still makes the catch anyway.
And they'll decline this penalty, I'd imagine, and get the 1st down. I mean, all draped over him. Beautifully thrown ball, and boy, Tyson Hurd keeping the Trojans alive in this ball game. 8:44 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Juan Diego 31, Morgan 14 if you're just joining us here from Stewart Stadium at Weber State. A beautiful day for a football game.
So I believe they accepted the penalty because they got more yards out of it.
Got a few extra yards, I see. Because it's a minimum 15 yards, or a max, I guess. Hand off to the outside is Miller, and just not a lot of room to operate for Bridger Miller. Only got maybe a yard to no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely nowhere to go there. The
Hits
War
that
Eagle
outside.
defense was just everywhere. He had no room.
Samuel Knutson, who's been big on that defensive line for Juan Diego, as has Chinoso Opara, who is a Division I commit to BYU, came from Nigeria to the United States to play basketball, and now finds himself going to be a Division I player as Stevens takes the snap. Good screen to the outside and just through the hands. Not quite number 21 on the outside there, Tal Polad. And the ball, it looked like it got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Once again, that's Knutson coming in there. 3rd down and 10.
Seems like little by little, Juan Diego, they're owning in on that pass defense.
Yeah, getting a lot more pressure on Stevens here in the 2nd half. Critical 3rd down for Morgan. They need this one. Stevens back to pass, steps up, throws a fade route. He's got a man downfield, incomplete. A little bit underthrown, intended for Jake Runkles on the outside, and unfortunately for the Trojans, they're going to have to punt here. And Zach Meekum was the one out in coverage for Juan Diego. And that's a good job by Runkles taking the defender away once the pass is broken up, making sure he doesn't get an interception.
The ref didn't see it there, but on the replay, he grabbed the face mask, bringing him down, making sure he didn't get the catch.
And a low, wobbly punt that takes a really friendly Morgan bounces. Bridger Miller evades it. A great punt down at the 27-yard line. And unfortunately for the Trojans, they couldn't get things going offensively, but their defense looked pretty good out there in that opening drive for Juan Diego.
That's true. Starting off of half, not giving too much to Juan Diego as far as their offensive game goes.
7:39 to go here in the 3rd quarter. If you're just joining us again, Juan Diego leads it 31-14 over the Morgan Trojans. Tanner Wilkinson joined by Dane Howe in our broadcast booth here at Weber State, Stewart Stadium. Beautiful place to play football here in Ogden. You got the mountains just off to the distance. Is Hoffman, quarterback. Looked like he kept it. He is so deceptive as a quarterback. The handoff goes up the middle to Tristan Tenozzi. And, or excuse me, that was Alfonso Preciado. Gain of 8. Hoffman back to pass. Rolls out of the pocket, facing a lot of pressure. Hoffman now takes off for the sideline. Good job by the Morgan defense to close him off before getting there to that 1st down. Brennan Sanders came in from the secondary. And a good job by Chase Trussell getting pressure from that left side. That's ultimately what forced Hoffman to the outside. Big 3rd down. 3rd and 4 here for the Soaring Eagle. Hoffman under center. Takes the snap. It's a quarterback sneak. Did he get it? I think he's short. This is close.
And here the ref says move the chains.
And a 1st down. Morgan fans upset with the spot. Let's see here on the replay where he ultimately has the football. That's a very generous spot. I think they gave him a full extra yard. I think it was still going to be close regardless, but awfully close. Hoffman, handoff directly up the middle, still rolling for a gain of about 6 or 7. To the outside is Preciado.
Good run by Preciado there, taking 2 defenders with him.
Oh, that's Tenozzi. I'm getting the 2 and the 8 mixed up. Tenozzi and Preciado, 2 of the main ball carriers, along with the big Easterly. Great fullback, back to pass Hoffman. Short route and complete over the middle to Davis. And then he's tripped up at the secondary. Had he not been tripped up, he might have been gone. Davis makes the catch, Dallin Davis. Tackle was made by Gabe Bott, the middle linebacker. Or Bott was in coverage, excuse me.
The safety.
Bo Snyder came up to make that play.
The last line of defense got him.
1st and 10, Soaring Eagle moving the ball much better on this drive. Handoff again up the middle.
Now, what a powerful runner he is. Hunter Easley. Every time they get it, you can count on him getting a good 3 or 4 yards every play.
Just keeps those legs moving. 2nd and 5. Clock winding. 5:40 to go. We're midway through this 3rd quarter. No one has scored after an explosive first half. Juan Diego trying to use the clock to their advantage. Eastley bounces off a first tackle to the outside, and then a flag flies. And this one going to come back. And man, Juan Diego has not been very disciplined on their offensive line so far in this 3rd quarter. A lot of holds. I think, this is their 3rd holding penalty alone here in the 3rd quarter. And that, as you mentioned, Dane, can really, really cost a team with momentum. Juan Diego finally moving the football. And just unable to keep consistent with the penalties here in this 3rd quarter. Fortunately for Juan Diego, Morgan hasn't moved the ball at a great rate. 2nd down, 14 yards to go. Hoffman takes the snap, roll out to his right, pass run option. Hoffman turns back upfield, sheds a tackler, stays on his feet, still moving to the outside, stiff arms a man, and then falls down at about the 36-yard line for a gain of 7. That'll set up 3rd down and 7.
And Hoffman, he's too quick for his own good. He juked out 3 other guys. It seemed like he juked out himself there as he kind of took a stumble as he was trying to juke out the defender.
I thought he was going to go down right at the line of scrimmage, and then, he just tripped up on his own feet.
He broke the defender's ankles, but he broke his own as well.
Throwing all kinds of basketball references into our broadcast today. Hoffman, reverse, and a fumble, ball's loose. Do the Trojans have it? I think Juan Diego hopped on that pretty quickly. And yep, it's going to be 4th down. Interesting position here if you're Juan Diego. Do you play it safe with the lead and try and pin Morgan? Do you go for it? It's a long field goal from where they'd be snapping it from, and they're going to go for it.
I think this is a good call here. You don't have much to lose. You're on the 35. That's good position if you don't make it.
This crowd getting on their feet. Morgan making a lot of noise. Handoff to the outside. It's a reverse to the outside. A good block from the quarterback, Hoffman. He's forced, and he got the 1st down by about a yard. Now let's see, the official is spotting him. He spots him shy. He spotted him a yard shy.
Turnover.
Wow.
That's impressive.
I thought where the ball was when he went out of bounds, that would have caused the 1st down. Let's see here on the replay. A double reverse to the wide receiver, Luke Procopius, and man, that is close. I thought the ball was ahead of the 1st down marker when he went out of bounds.
I disagree. I think it was a good call. I think it was before, with all respect.
I think it was close either way.
It was. You're right. It was close.
I think you got it. Either way, huge stop for the Trojans. Handoff to Miller. Miller cuts back inside, has a big hole. There goes Miller. 1st down run, gain of 11 yards for Bridger Miller. And the Morgan Trojans pick up a huge 1st down, and a great job by Miller being patient and then hitting his hole hard.
Yeah, he looks out, he's patient, he waits for the play to develop, he finds the big opening hole, and there he is, squeezes by 5 defenders.
And a huge saving tackle by as Miller gets the ball again. Shifty in traffic, pushes forward, and only got about 2 on that play. We'll set up a 2nd down and about 8 to go.
If Morgan can develop their run game, their pass game will be able to come more open. I think what's happening is Juan Diego, they're not being completely honest to the run game because they've been shutting down the passing game quite a bit. If Morgan's able to be more successful running, it's going to open up a lot more options.
Ball fake to the outside, throws on the run. It's got a man, it's Hurd. Tyson Hurd down to the 25-yard line. Or no, it wasn't Hurd. It was Talon Polad, who's had a couple good catches today. 1st down for the Trojans.
Polad, nice catch there.
And a good ball fake from Steffens. He is so good. It reminds you of Ben Roethlisberger with that pump fake. On the money, on the numbers. Still going, and you got to give Juan Diego's defensive backs credit. When they've given up big plays, they've been able to make the tackle. Handoff directly up to Bridger Miller, who piles forward for a gain of 4. He's running with a lot more confidence on this drive, and I think a big part of that was he got that 11-yard run to start the drive.
See, this is what I think Morgan's doing correctly. They're running it a little bit more, and it seems like they've been more successful in their passing just because they've been able to run it.
Yeah, keeping Juan Diego honest, as you mentioned. Juan Diego was only sending 3 to 4 guys at the quarterback.
Yeah,
the rest of their guys are in coverage. Screen to the outside. It's complete. And a first down, a great run to the outside. Jake Runkles again moves the chains. First down. If the Trojans get a touchdown here before the third quarter, that's going to set up for a very, very interesting fourth. New group of players move in. Interesting. They subbed a lot of guys out there.
A big defensive line front. There's that big 59, Opara.
He is a big man. Wow. He's not a boy, he's a man. He's 6'9". Direct snap. It's a wildcat play. Running forward for a gain of 7 or 8 is Jake Runkles, who took the direct snap. And I like this from Morgan, mixing some things up.
Even with all those new big defensive linemen running in, they were able to develop a very good play.
Now, I know I've talked a lot about Chinoso Opara, but here's something you might not know about his story, Dane. Came from Nigeria, played a year of his freshman year of high school basketball in Maryland.
Okay.
Then in California. And then he wanted to come play at Lone Peak, but that didn't work out, so that's how he ended up at Juan Diego. Another wildcat play. It's Runkles. Stays on his feet, keeps the legs churning, gets about 3 or 4 more yards, and it'll set up 3rd and short with 1:26 to go. And now it looks like they're going to send Stevens back in.
Morgan has been in this situation so many times, and then they get some type of penalty that completely changes the turn of momentum.
3rd down and 1. A gigantic opportunity for the Trojans if they can pick this up. Stevens under center. He's been in shotgun the majority of the day. They go with a tight formation. Pitch to the outside to and they get Bridger Miller.
Good play there.
Huge.
Who was that?
Play,
#7.
Number 7 for the Juan Diego defense. That's Mac Butkovich, who is their leading tackler and sack man. Just hit that gap and really came in to take out Miller. 4th down.
Really well played there.
And are they going to kick? I think they're going for it. They are. 4th and 2. Clock is ticking. Under 30 to play here in the 3rd period. 4th down. Stevens rollout. Throws. Incomplete. Receiver never saw the ball, and it's a turnover on downs for the Trojans. Juan Diego, and you got to credit that stop to their 3rd down stop by Max Butkovich. It's quite the name. That's quite the mouthful.
And there, that 4th down try, they sent the heat. 2 guys got passed through. Didn't give Steffens much time for the play to develop. Had to throw it early. The receiver wasn't ready.
16.4 to go here in quarter number 3. 31-14, Juan Diego leads. Hoffman under center. Handoff directly up the middle. Gain of 2. Tristan Tanazi, and that's likely going to be our final play of this 3rd period. And yes, it will be. Juan Diego leads at 31-14. No score in that 3rd period. We'll be back with 4th quarter coverage in just a minute.
You remember your family, right? Those cute little zombies that are always stuck to their screens? Well, with router limits, you can manage screen time, filter web content, and track the browsing history of all your kids. All you have to do is plug this little guy into your router. Seriously, that's it. Router limit starts with screen time. You can set a schedule for each family member, what they can do online, and when they can do it. You can filter content by category or even by specific website. Sure, you've got great kids, but sooner or later, they're going to come in contact with something that's not so great. Router limits lets you see what they see so that you can have those important conversations before the internet has them for you. Router limits helps my family disconnect from devices and reconnect with each other.
Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action, 12 minutes until we crown a 3A state champion. Dane Howe joins me in the booth. I'm Tanner Wilkinson. Dane, things looking a little bleak here for Morgan, but we have seen crazier happen. As Hoffman, handoff to the outside to Tinozo, and a great defensive sequence there. Loss of a yard on the play.
Number 5.
Coming in hot for the Trojans, that's Dallin Rowley, who's been really solid defensively today for the Morgan Trojans.
What he did there, they're trying to bring him in so that the runner could run outside. He stood his ground. The blocker wasn't able to get him, and he just took him down.
See how Hoffman does on a 3rd down and 9. Hoffman roll out to the outside, keeps it upfield, and goes down. He's not going to get the first down. I imagine if you're Juan Diego, you've got a punt here. It's not a 3rd and 1. You got about a 3rd or 4th down and 5 to go. And yeah, they'll bring the kick team in. Huge stop for Morgan. It's just too bad they didn't get that touchdown on the other end, as that 3rd quarter was nearing an end. Clock rolling, under 11. The clock is not Morgan's friend at this point. Punt on its way. Lefty, a good high kick, but it's going to be good field position for the Trojans. Returnable football on the outside by number 32, Trevor Jarrett, and he takes it up to about the 40-yard line. So really good field position for the Trojans. A little bit of a, I don't think there was too much of a scuffle there. I think guys just trying to get out of the pile. Morgan has to score here, Dane, if they want to stay alive in this football game.
For sure. These opportunities, they keep on coming by, and unless Morgan doesn't capitalize on them very soon, before they know it, the game's going to be over.
It's always been the little plays that have prevented them from putting those points up on the board today.
Yeah, and that's so disappointing. That last drive, they get it down to within the 10, or near the 10.
I think they were at the 10,
yeah. At the 10, not able to score.
Stevens back to throw. Steffens steps up in the pocket, throws high, and it's picked off. Intercepted. You can't have that. A flag flies. Not sure if that flag was intended for before or after the pass. I'd imagine that's going to be a hold on Juan Diego after the interception by number 37, Zachary Meekum. He's been all over defensively today at that cornerback spot. I imagine this was an interception and then a hold on the return.
It seemed like an easy play for...
Oh, and that is, talk about a break for Morgan, and another costly penalty for Juan Diego. They call holding prior to the interception. So Morgan holds on to the ball. Stevens had some pressure. And I don't know if they were calling the hold clear out here. I didn't really see it. So the Trojans line it up. 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left, single backfield with the tight end. Steffens back to pass. First down, wants it all at the end zone. Hurd is there, makes the leaping play, and incomplete. Well defended by Dawson Stifle for the Soaring Eagle.
What an athletic play right there by both.
Yeah.
Hurd had it in his hands.
A great throw.
There he is. Hurd.
Goes
has it
up,
in his hands right there,
and then just
swats it right
out. That could not have been played any better by the defensive back.
That's true. He got his hand right in the right spot. Clean play, no pass interference.
2nd down and 10, 10:22 to go. Here in the state championship 4th quarter. Juan Diego leads Morgan 31-14. Neither team has scored here in the second half. This is where we were at halftime. And a loose ball, it's a fumble picked up by Steffens, and he is ultimately going to be brought down. Alex Hoffman was in there, or Zach Hoffman rather. Loss of 4, so 3rd and 14 coming up. Clock winds.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that seems like it's the 3rd time that's happened.
That is the 3rd time it's happened for Morgan. They have struggled with some of the snaps, and you'd think by this time of the season that's not something that that you would expect to have happen.
Now here, coming to a state championship game, you need your team to be peaking right now. And it seems like a lot of little things aren't going Morgan's way that they should be, that you would hope that they would do here at the last game of the season.
Snap Stevens, back pedals, getting chased, throws to the outside, it's complete. Flag flies on the play, steps outside the tackle, inside the 10, inside the 5, it's a touchdown. We'll see if this comes back. A beautiful, beautiful catch and run from Porter Giles, but it's gonna come back. This is the initial signal.
Those penalties. It's 3rd and
wrong place at the wrong time. Offensive pass interference. That's huge when you take a score off the board like that. So now you'll have a 3rd and I don't see it. What footwork to stay in bounds. That's a shame that got called back. Wow.
2 big penalties go in the favor of each team. Just a little bit earlier,
yeah,
that interception that they call defensive pass interference gave Morgan a 1st down. And just barely, the touchdown got called back by an offensive pass interference.
So now it'll be 3rd and 24 for Morgan. Wow. This party really died. As the Trojans huddle. It's desperation mode, and obviously you're in 4-down situation either way. You don't need to necessarily get all the first down yards right here. Be interesting to see ultimately what the play call comes from the Trojans. Coach Chris Jansen, now the officials huddling. This is not the first time we've seen this in this broadcast, folks. 9:26 to go. Morgan trailing Juan Diego, 31-16. Now they say touchdown.
Interesting.
So did he mean to say defensive pass interference? Bizarre.
Well, there you have it. It was a touchdown. That's got to keep your hopes alive if you're a Morgan fan.
Hey, you're within 10 if this PAT is made now, so it is a touchdown from Giles. A nice catch and run. I don't understand how these officials have done this twice now, where they've set the ball up somewhere and just, man, this bizarre, just bizarre. That's the only way I can word it, Dane. Only way I can word it. PAT pending here for the Trojans. Trevor Jarrett on to attempt the PAT, and this is huge. Cut it to 10. High snap, ooh. And I think he missed it. Yes, he did, off to the left. Hooked it, bad snap, will do that to you. 31-20, Juan Diego leads Morgan, 9:26 to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Being there to see the sunset, only to see it rise. Your friends, your family, and being around those who matter most. Visiting new places and trying new things. The road trips or the camping trips. The times you'll remember and the places you'll go back to. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. L&L Motor. People you know. People who care.
Welcome back. In bizarre fashion, the Morgan Trojans are right back in this game. This play was originally called offensive pass interference. It's a screenplay to Giles. Makes a great catch, evades the out-of-bounds line and evades the tacklers not once but twice to get in the end zone. It's a great play. They call offensive pass interference initially, Dane, and then all of a sudden the ref says, let's call it a touchdown after resetting the ball. PAT was missed. 31-20. Juan Diego leads Morgan. 9:26 to go. Trojans go with the deep kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. Return by Davis. Davis to the outside. He's going down inside the 20. A great special teams play by the Trojans. Dallin Davis, not a lot of room to operate.
Now it'll be interesting what's going to happen right here. 9 minutes left. Morgan just barely scored. I'd say momentum is definitely with Morgan, even though they're down 11 points. Anything can happen at this point.
9:21 to go. Juan Diego leads Morgan 31-20 if you're just joining us after an exciting first half. That's the first touchdown of the second half. No points in the third quarter. Hoffman under center. The clock's your friend. Hoffman does a quarterback sneak and goes nowhere. Morgan saw that coming and just hit the gaps hard. A tackle in there by number 53 for the Trojans, Dylan Petty. Second down and 9.
Good job by that D-line clogging everything up.
Under 9 to go now. Hoffman taking his sweet time. The clock is Juan Diego's friend. Hoffman under center, as he's been the majority of this ball game. Takes the snap. It's a handoff. He keeps it himself after the fake and gets a little more the yardage we're accustomed to him getting. Picks up 7 or 8, and that'll bring up third down and short. Third and about 3. Porter Giles again in on the play. He's been huge on both ends. This critical third down for the Trojans. Third down and 3. This Morgan defense needs to make a play. Hoffman under center. Hand off to the outside and a first down run right up the gut. And guess who? Easterly. When you need the tough yards, he's the guy that Juan Diego continues to go to. First and 10 for the Soaring Eagle. 8 minutes to go now.
Good hole there by the offensive line. Easy gap to read for Easterly.
And they are, Juan Diego, I'd be shocked if the Soaring Eagle pass again. They just want this clock to tick and tick and tick. First and 10, Hoffman takes a snap, hand off directly up the middle, and I believe that was Tanazi, yes. Gain of 3. 7:33 to go. Second and 8. If Juan Diego doesn't get any more penalties, I'd say it's pretty safe to say they've got this game wrapped up.
I'd agree.
The way their offensive line's moving the football, it's just going to be tough for Morgan to consistently shut this offensive line down.
And the rate that the clock's going.
I mean, we're already approaching 7. Hoffman stutters, decides to keep it himself, gets brought down after only a gain of a yard. And I don't think Juan Diego needs to run that spread type stuff. Just keep going up the middle. Keep going where your offensive line has been so dominant in today's ball game. 6:51 to go. 31-20. Juan Diego leads Morgan. The Trojans just got back in this thing with a touchdown. It's 3rd and 7. Might be the defensive play of the game here for the Trojans. Zach Hoffman taking his sweet time, an academic all-stater. Takes a snap. It's a pass play. Hoffman rolls, throws, has a man open, and it is complete for a first down. Great throw on the run, rolling out to his right, and Jesse Trujillo gets the first down. That is a dagger for Morgan. Great rollout, great throw, good catch. Doesn't try to do anything extra with it, gets that first down. Centricom bringing you this broadcast today along with VTV Channel 6 helping us out up here in the booth today. Making this broadcast possible along with the Utah High School Athletics Association. Hoffman, it's another pass. He throws, and it's caught again by Trujillo for a first down. I'm a little surprised Juan Diego's still throwing the football. Either way, completed passes still let the clock run, even if they are first downs. As soon as those chains are set, clock will run. Morgan having a tough time defensively now as Juan Diego's mixing things up. 1st and 10, Soaring Eagle. 5:50 to go. That clock just keeps ticking. We're midway through this fourth quarter. Snap. Keep up the middle. Hoffman's got a big hole. 20, 15, 10, 5. He's into the end zone. Zach Hoffman in for 6. And Dane, that may be the dagger for the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. What a run from Zach Hoffman.
Complete opposite emotions as you stare out the top of here at Stewart Stadium. Juan Diego side, it's excited as all get out, and right below us, the Morgan, they seem to be a lot more quieter now.
After just getting back to the game, an impressive long drive of 80-plus yards for the Soaring Eagle. PAT is good. So with 5:36 to go here in the fourth quarter, it's Juan Diego 38, Morgan 20. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Want to make your HD TV even better? Centricom has the HD channels you want. Our HD DVR gives you total control of your experience. And we're always adding new channels to serve you better. Why settle for less? Get our full HD lineup, now with over 61 HD channels. Call or visit us online and get the best HD experience from Centricom.
Welcome back. Juan Diego set to kick. 5:36 to go here in this fourth quarter. And Dane, things not looking too hot for the Morgan Trojans, down 18 here in the fourth.
Not at all. Their hope seems to be diminishing after each second goes by here on the game clock.
And a squib kick muffed, but then ultimately picked up by Morgan. Hitting to the outside, a lot of space and room, still on his feet. A good solid return to the outside. Once again, that's Jake Runkles to about the 35-yard line. Took some time off the clock, but you get good field position. It's going to take several Hail Marys for Morgan to try and get back into this game. Down 18 points. Either way, it's a 3-score game. 3-possession game. Steffens in the shotgun. 1st and 10, 5:26 to go. Steffens takes the snap, throws to the outside, it's complete, and a backward shovel pass. That was to an offensive lineman, to number 54, Parker Searle. Wow.
I believe that was 64. I may be wrong. A little hook and ladder, it looked like.
I like that, yeah. 1st and 10. Clock still winding at 5:13. Steffens back to throw. Steps up, takes a fade deep downfield, and well defended. Once again, that was intended from Rockles. And on the defense, Zachary Meekum makes a big defensive play. He's been really, really good at that cornerback spot.
He has done a good job. I really got to tip my hat to him. He has really made his presence known here in this football game.
And even when passes have been completed for Morgan, he's been
right
there. He's played great coverage. They've just been better passes from Jake Steffens. 5:05 to go for the Trojans. Down 18, 38-20. Fire over the middle, batted down, incomplete. Jaden Madry on the coverage, 3rd down and 10 now. $5:01 to go. 38-20. Good coverage.
Again, good coverage.
Juan Diego's really stepped up their pass defense in the second half, and I think ultimately that is what's going to help them win this state championship. Most of all was their pass defense in the second half. Steffens rolling out to his right, steps up in the pocket, fires, and incomplete. Good coverage once again right there. Meekum.
It's really true what you said. Football, it's just a game of who can adapt better. The first half of this football game is a completely different half from what we're seeing right now. Juan Diego, they went to the locker room, they see what they needed to change, and so far they've been they're really able to diminish Morgan's passing game.
Under 5 to go, 4th and 10, and likely if Morgan does not get this, you can officially say this ball game is over. Steffens in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Pressure coming from the left side. Steffens steps up. He's going to run out, and I'm not sure he's got enough space. Maybe he does. He takes off, and he gets the 1st down. What a clutch run from Jacob Steffens. I believe he had it. We'll see where they spot him. As we look here on the replay, needs to get to the 46. I think he got it fairly easily.
I agree.
They going to measure? Or did he need to get to the 45 or 44? They spot it at the 45. I don't think that's going to be enough, and I don't think that's a fair spot. As the officials still talking about, there may be a player down. No player down.
Yeah,
and he
number 7.
He doesn't get it. Juan Diego is going to take over on downs. I think that's a poor spot. And unfortunately for the Trojans, not going to be able to get that first down. Results in a turnover on downs, and now with 4:47 to go, all 3 timeouts. Juan Diego really going to try and run the clock here. I really thought he had it. Maybe I'm wrong again, Dane. Who knows?
Look at that replay. I'd say that as first
I
down.
I thought he had the ball across as he went out of bounds. 1st and 10 for the Soaring Eagle. Hoffman going to look to run this clock dry. 4:47 to go. Juan Diego on the verge of a three-peat. Handoff directly up the middle to Tinozo. Tinozo, 35 down to the 31-yard line. A run of 20, 25, 24-ish yards. 1st and 10. Clock continues to run after they set the chains here for this first down.
Great blocking up front. Easy run for Tinozo there. Middle linebacker got double teamed by the lineman. Easy hole for him to go through. Great play by the offensive line.
1st and 10. Hoffman tries to draw a guy offside, sends Tinozo out of the backfield, and it's just a handoff directly up the gut to Easterly for a gain of 3. Now you're going to see the clock just continue and continue to wind, approaching 4 minutes to go. And unless something drastic happens, Dane, it looks like the Soaring Eagle going to be 3-time 3A state champs. Stevens taking his time. .345 to go. Takes the snap. It's another handoff to Easterly, who plunges forward for a gain. We'll give him about 5 yards. 3rd down and 2 coming up. 3rd down and 2. Hoffman, the academic all-state quarterback, over 1,000 yards rushing on the season, 800 passing. Hoffman sends Easterly in motion. Handoff to the outside, and that's actually going to be probably a bit shy from Tinozo. And they're saying, yeah, 4th down and short. Clock under 3 minutes now, 2:48 to go. 4th and inches. Juan Diego just wants to run this thing down as far as they can. And a dive right up the middle. Easterly, Dane, your guy, to get those short yards, and another Juan Diego 1st down.
Easterly.
He's the man.
You should call him Beasterly by the way he's running.
Well, Dane, you just coined that phrase. You and your brothers are really good at coining nicknames, by the way.
Hey,
I don't know if anyone's ever told you that. Your younger brother, the one who coined the term Coach Wilk. A lot of the basketball boys I coached call me for years. That was your brother. So 1st and 10 for the Soaring Eagle, and they are just going to take their precious time. Clock stopped for some odd reason at 2:17. And an unsportsmanlike conduct on Morgan. Half the distance to the goal will mark him about the 8-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 3 following the penalty. Hoffman under center. Clock winding now at 2 minutes to play until the end of this ball game. Hand off to Easterly up the middle and rumbles into the end zone. That will be the cherry on top for the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle on what is looking like their 3rd straight championship. Makes it 44-20, PAT pending. Hunter Easterly, what a game for him. Kalani Satake would be proud. He's a former fullback. He likes when the big guys get some love. PAT good. So with 1:54 to go, Juan Diego leading 45-20 on Morgan. We will be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. What's likely going to be the final kickoff here from the Soaring Eagle. Minute 54 to go in the state championship game. Juan Diego leads Morgan 45-20. Another touchdown from the Soaring Eagle capping that off. Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. And well, a little bit of a scuffle out there on the field. Some pushing and shoving, no flags fly. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Try and send these seniors off the right way, Dane. Always tough in the state championship when you fall short. You've been on both sides.
I have. And I'd much rather be on Juan Diego, but I understand what it's like to be on Morgan's side here too.
1st down and 10 for Steffens and the Trojans. Final 2 minutes of this ball game, 45-20 Juan Diego. And a fumble, ball comes loose and recovered. Oh no, ball's still out there. Still rolling back to about the 9-yard line. Morgan recovers. Minute 45 left on the clock. And this ball touched just about every single player on the 2 lines. Pops out there. Pops out there, continues just to roll. Finally recovered by Morgan. So now it's 2nd down and 21. Pitch to the outside. It's a backwards pass. Man's wide open. Diving for the catch. Falling incomplete is Runkles. 3rd down and 21. Runkles could have been gone. He did not have anybody near him. 3rd and 21. Minute 20 left on the clock. And what's likely going to end as a 2nd place finish for Morgan. Juan Diego, their 3rd consecutive state championship as Coach Carlissimo's dynasty continues to reign supreme at Juan Diego Catholic High School. Steffens in the shotgun. Takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, throws a fade route, and it is dropped. Incomplete, nearly INT for Jaden Madry. 4th down and 21. Minute 14 to go. And punting unit coming out. And it appears that way. And Juan Diego will likely just kneel this thing out following this punt. Kick on its way, a good high boot. No one back.
I think they're expecting a fake, Juan Diego.
Down at the 32-yard line with a minute and 1 second remaining. Soaring Eagle can, I believe, take 2 knees here and be done.
And it's these moments right here, if you're a Morgan, especially Morgan Senior, where it's tough. When you see that clock go down, you work so hard to get here. But just to get to this game is an accomplishment in itself. Props to both teams.
Absolutely, and a well-played game from both teams.
Definitely. Morgan's offense starting off this game, I was very impressed, especially against a very good Juan Diego defense. But Juan Diego's storm was just too much for him today.
And I think, Dane, you can attribute the adjustments Coach Calissimo made at halftime.
Yes, exactly.
To this defense that really ultimately made the difference. Timeout. Flag. See a flag out on midfield, right in between the E and the B on Weber State. Okay, delay of game, which is odd. They hadn't even began to run. There was no point in that because the clock was not running. So 1st and 15 and just a victory formation here for the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. Hoffman takes the knee. And the clock will continue to wind. I think they have to take one more before it becomes official. And now Juan Diego takes a timeout. Odd situation.
Interesting.
Coach Calissimo maybe taking a final moment with some of his players, some of his seniors. Letting those guys walk off the field one last time. That's cool. That is a very cool move by Coach Calissimo at Juan Diego. Letting those seniors, those guys walk off the field one last time. Now you get some of these younger guys into experience what it's like to be on a state championship field.
That's impressive. That's gotta feel good for a younger guy to say, hey, I played in a state championship game.
That we won.
Yeah, even if it was the last 47 seconds.
One final knee should do it. And they actually might, I think it's 40 seconds on the play clocks. So they're going to have to take one more. Well, Dane, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Pleasure's all mine. Thanks for having me.
We'd like to thank all those who made today's broadcast possible, those at VTV Channel 6, Centricom. As the final knees take in, and that's going to do it. The Juan Diego Soaring Eagle are your 2017 state champions as Coach Calissimo gets doused in a cooler. Not sure if it was just Gatorade or water, but either way, he's doused, and the Soaring Eagle get to celebrate here in Ogden. Post-game coverage back in 1 minute. You're on Centricom.
High-speed Wi-Fi. Not quite as important as running water in your home, but close. Centricom powers your Wi-Fi network with consistent speeds to keep all your gadgets going strong. Streaming video players, laptops, tablets, even smartphones, so you're never stuck with those big cell data charges. And talk about value. Just pick your speed and keep the Wi-Fi flowing in your home at a great low price. Upgrade your internet today. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
In our small community, something big is happening. Strata's fiber network is connecting thousands of locations in the basin, bringing internet speeds now as fast as 1 gig. Delivered across the fastest technology available, gig internet has the speed and power equal to 1,000 megabits per second. For more streaming, more sharing, more connected devices, and more possibilities. It's internet fast enough for your life. Get your gig today from Strata Networks. We connect lives.
Welcome back. This is a final from Ogden. The Juan Diego Soaring Eagle are your 3A state champions with a 45-20 win over the Morgan Trojans. I'm Tanner Wilkinson once again, joined by Dane Howe. We're just going to give a couple of awards away real quick here, Dane. Who do you have for your offensive MVP for the Soaring Eagle?
Offensive MVP goes to the captain of Juan Diego, their quarterback, Hoffman. He played in an outstanding game.